How now brown cow eating the green grass. Yes. It's the Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And we had to go live for this. I thought, do I go live or do I just do a video? All up in the video. But I didn't want to be all up in the video. So I thought, let me get all up in the live show. Okay. You probably heard the word. Have you heard the word? It's not good to be presumptuous, but the word is. And I have the evidence, Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and Exhibit C. You know, Rafi likes to come with the evidence. And as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Let's get the banner up. Let's get the banner up so people know what's going on. What's going on? Ooh, na, na, na. Okay, enough of that. Let's get that in. Let's create that. Let's highlight that. Let's show that. Here we go. Okay. Anthony Joshua accepts terms for Tyson Fury fight on December the 3rd. Okay. Let me just work a little bit of. Let me just do something with that. Okay. Let's do it that way. Okay. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Anthony Joshua accepts terms for Tyson Fury fight on December the 3rd. Okay, first things first, let me drop the link in. Boom, boom, boom. In case I forget, okay, that's first things first. Second things second. Let's I need that open. Okay. Let me do the sound check. Let's go ahead with the sound check. While I'm doing the sound check, hold on. Let's kill the noise. Let's get in there. Let's get in there. Boom. Let's see the sound check. While I'm doing the sound check, hold on. Let's kill the noise. Second thing second. Okay, that is more than acceptable. Need that open. Okay. That's acceptable. Okay, let's do that. Let's do this. Let's pin that. Is that pin? Yeah, that's good. That's good, yeah. Okay. So that's what we're talking about. Hold on. What's going on there? Okay, everything's good. I think everything's good. Everything is in order. Okay. So Anthony Joshua accepts terms for Tyson Fury fight on December the 3rd. We're going to be looking at that. We're going to be talking about that. We got some pieces of evidence to confirm that. Write something in the chat if you're here. Don't be shy. Okay. So, you're on the sound check. Where are we gonna go now? Okay, let's go with Eddie Hearn. Let's go with the Eddie Hearns. Okay. Let's bring him up. Let's listen to what he had to say. Where is it? Okay. Stop there. Stop right there. Open sesame. Okay. Ain't good. That's not ideal. Let's share that. Allow me to share my screen with you. How's that look? How's that look? All up in the video. How's that? Okay. That looks good, actually. That looks good. Good, actually. Good, actually. Hold on. No. 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 I don't want it like that. Stop that. Stop that. And then come back. Rewind and come back. Yeah, that's better. That's way better. Okay. Who's in the house? Who's in the house? Who's in the house? Okay. I see there's a bunch of people watching. Nobody's typing. Yeah, get your Twitter fingers. Go on, type something with your Twitter fingers. Go on, type something. Who are you? What is your name? Where are you from? Friend or foe? Oh my gosh. Okay, so without much further ado, let's get into this shiznix. Hold on. That's the wrong one. This is the one I need. Okay.
Exactly that. I mean, obviously with the Queen's passing, we haven't really spoke too much about it over the weekend. On Friday, I met with George Warren.
Okay. They've been keeping it on a down low. Cal L up in the building. They've been keeping it on a down low since the Queen's passing. You know, just out of respect for the Queen, just give it a little bit of time. Give them a little bit of time. The royal family, a little bit of time for mourning. But they have been speaking, spoken to George Francis. George Francis, let Eddie take it from there.
That we had an offer for the fight. We weren't happy with all the terms. We tried to negotiate those terms and we were told there is no negotiation.
Okay, so the first thing that came to my mind, Malcolm Marcel up in the building. Come on, the rest of you scaredy cats. Come on, the rest of you scaredy cats. Show yourselves. Write your name and where you're from. Scaredy cats, bunch of scaredy cats. Pussycat, pussycat, where the pussycat? Pussycat, have you seen the pussycat? Fish eye still can't look Eddie in the eye. What's up with that? Okay, so the first thing that came to my mind was that, this is some weirdo shizzle. How you just gonna accept terms like that? How you gonna accept terms just like that? But Eddie Hearn said, well, listen, there's no play, there's no movement. There's no movement. There's no movement. Goalpost moving incoming. Damn. Hope I'm wrong. I hope you're wrong too. Leon Figures up in the building. Wizard Sleeves up in the building. Okay, let us continue. So no movement. But anyway, we're going to be talking about that shortly. I got my bullet points in my head. Bullet points, metaphorical, I assure you. But no movement. Okay, let us continue. What the hell? That's not the one.
Take it or leave it. We took it. We accepted the offer in writing on Friday. Obviously, let the weekend pass and then
accepted the shiznix on Friday. Let the weekend pass and then
this morning, AJ 258 and ourselves just put a statement out to say that, just to let you know.
And then they put a statement out saying, just to let you know.
By Tyson Fury for that fight. Spoke to George Warren again this morning. We expect to receive a contract in the next couple of days.
Contracts will be received in the next couple of days.
And hopefully we can move forward with a fight. There's no reason not to now. The key terms are...
And hopefully they can move forward with a fight. The key terms have been agreed.
Obviously, there's broadcaster.
Key terms have been agreed. There's a broadcasting situations, but both of the broadcasters also appear to want to have the shizzle go down. They want to have the shizzle go down. So it appears right now there's no one, ain't no stopping. That's how it's looking.
Situations to sort out, which at the moment is all extremely positive. So I think
it's all extremely positive. So fingers crossed.
Because at the moment, we're in a good place. It's not what we expected.
It's not what they expected.
Coming off the Usyk defeat.
They thought there'd be a couple of build-up fights.
an easier fight in December and maybe one in the spring, and then Dillian White and Wilder. But this is the fight that AJ's wanted for so long.
But AJ wants it. AJ wants it. Is it the right time? Is it the right time? Yeah, morning. Time of morning. Let's go. Alexandra Ilbs up in the building. Is it, it's not ideal timing, but AJ wants it. AJ wants it. So
and he wasn't prepared to wait any longer.
AJ wasn't prepared to wait any longer. There was a fear that the fight might never happen because Tyson Fury was like a slippery eel when it came to getting this fight done. It was like a slippery eel. Remember before when the fight was going to be in Saudi, and Tyson Fury was posting up clocks saying, "Oh, tick tock, time's ticking away." He didn't want it. He didn't want it for more money. And now this is for less money. But Anthony Joshua didn't want this opportunity to go awry, so he went with it. We're going to be talking about the logic in that. Or is it logical? Is it illogical? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? I have my views, and I'm sure you have yours. But let us proceed.
We felt this could be his only opportunity to get the fight with Tyson.
Felt it could be. Joshua felt it could be his only opportunity. Felt that Tyson Fury might fight Usyk, get beat, and then run off into the sunset.
Fury.
Didn't want to take that chance.
Everybody.
Right or wrong. Good thinking on Joshua's part, or a bad thinking. You be the judge.
He asks him about that fight all the time. He's continuously.
People are always asking him about the fight. They're always saying, "When are you going to fight Fury? When's it going to happen? Come on, Joshua."
That people wanted him to fight or tried to fight them, and this is another example of that. So, as I said,
come on, Joshua, what's going down? Let's have the fight. Let's do it.
Really about the money for AJ. This was about the challenge, and we accept the challenge.
It wasn't about the money. It was about the challenge, and they've risen to the challenge. They've accepted the challenge.
As I said, we weren't allowed to negotiate.
They wanted to negotiate. I think it's 60-40 in Fury's favor for the first fight. Joshua's side said, well, okay, fair enough. And the second fight in the rematch, we'll have 60-40 in our favor. They're saying, no, it's 50-50. So Joshua is, is he capitulating to their demands? Capitulating to their demands or accepting their demands? Is it acceptance or capitulation? Is it acceptance or capitulation? Joshua seems like he's bending over backwards to make this thing happen. But let us proceed.
In all deals you negotiate, but we were told unequivocally, no movement.
In all deals you negotiate, but they were told unequivocally, no movement. No movement.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
We were treated like the B-side going into the fight. Whether that's right or wrong, it doesn't really matter because it came down to AJ wanting the fight.
AJ wanted the fight so much that he didn't even care, even though he's commercially the A side, he accepted the B side position because he wants the fight that much. Let us continue. Let us go deeper.
And remarkable run. Talk about Anthony Joshua's resume. And dating back to.
Talking about Anthony Joshua's resume, something that we've been forced to do many a time over here at the RDCR.
To Dillian White and Brazil and Molina and Klitschko and Takam and Parker and Povetkin and Ruiz, Pulev,
Which other heavyweight has got the depth? Which other heavyweight out there right about now has got the depth of resume displayed by Anthony Joshua? Nobody. Nobody. Nobody, baby.
Usyk Fury. I mean, this may be the greatest resume or run of fights for any heavyweight of our generation.
Boom, boom, boom.
He still probably won't get the credit, but I hope he does, because
But we still won't get the credit. People have the audacity. Some people have the audacity to say the resume ain't strong, when really it's far stronger than any of his contemporaries in depth.
Ultimately, you know, the gauntlet was laid out, and he ran it, and he won.
Gauntlet was laid out. He ran it.
This fight. We've done this.
He wants that fight. Okay, I think we've covered all of the main points. I think we've covered all of the main points. We're starting to see some great heavyweight fights in this era. Yeah, we're starting to see some. But Joshua's always been giving them to you. Joshua's always been giving them to you. Always been feeding them to you. You know what I mean? That ain't nothing new. That ain't nothing he's just started to do. Like some cats have just started to do. He's been doing it consistently over the years. Okay, so we've gone into this. I think we've covered all the main points. And so now I think we're gonna be looking at this thing a little bit. We're going to take this thing apart, look at this thing. We're going to take apart the component parts. Remember, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time and a concise time. So let's have a look at what's going on. OMG. Salute to Raphael. Salute to RDCR. Salute to the Combat Radio Nation. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon for news, to stay updated with news and notifications. What's going on here? Malcolm Marcel up in the building. Fish eyes still can't look Eddie in the eye. Fury goalpost moving, incoming. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're wrong. I hope you are wrong. But you never know. How can you trust a man? Some people say, how can you trust a man that robbed from the homeless? When you promise to give millions to build homes for the homeless and you don't do it, does that constitute stealing from the homeless? How can you steal from such an impoverished group? Let's go. We'll see. I say styles make fights. They do indeed. Bluff being called, but is it a bluff though? Fury just keeping his name in the spotlight. Okay. So I'm gonna give my overview on the situation. Then we're gonna bring in Leon Figures. Okay, so my overview on the situation is as follows. I have to confess that this is not a boxing decision. This is not a wise and prudent boxing decision. This is a decision born out of, this could be a decision born out of emotion. It might be a decision born out of emotion. What is the emotion? The emotion is, it could be several emotions. Could be a lot of emotions. We'll talk about the different types of emotions that we could be at display here, but this is not a boxing decision. A boxing decision would have been, if I was talking to a compadre of mine. I was talking to a compadre of mine the other day. We did lunch. And his view was that as a casual was that Anthony Joshua needs He said, my view as a casual, he actually said those words. My view as a casual is that Anthony Joshua needs to get a win. He needs to fight some dudes and get a win. Because right about now, casual Anthony Joshua fans haven't seen him win in a couple of years. When was the last time Anthony Joshua actually won? It's been a couple of years. And let's have a look. And that's not good enough. The casual fans want to be fed. And Anthony Joshua ain't feeding them. They want to see an Anthony Joshua win, and it ain't been one in a while. So the casual fan is not happy with that. They want that rectified. And I think a boxing decision would have been Anthony Joshua doing what? Following the typical route. And the typical route is to get out there after a couple of losses. When was the last time Anthony Joshua won? It was Kubrat Pulev in 2020. Okay, it was December of 2020. But 2020, nonetheless, it's just a few months shy of 2 years. And that's not good for the casual fan. They don't want that. They're not interested in that. And they're not interested in the fact that he's only lost to the pound for pound number one. They're not interested in that. They want to see him win. And so a boxing decision would have been Anthony Joshua fighting a decently ranked guy, top 10 guy. My preference would have been Otto Wallin. He's been training for a southpaw for 2 years. So my choice would have been another southpaw like Otto Wallin. Could have been Zili Zhang over in China. Maybe both of them. Maybe Otto Wallin, then Zili Zhang. Yeah, but get a couple of wins for his fans, and then look at another championship fight. That would have been a proper boxing decision. This decision, it may turn out to be a good decision. I'm not saying Anthony Joshua cannot win. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I don't think it's a great boxing decision. I think there's certain things that you need to do. There's certain things that you should do after a couple of losses. And this isn't one of them things. Could it turn out good for him? It may do. Could it turn out great for him? It may do. But it's not, to me, it's not a proper boxing decision. It really isn't. So that's my opening gambit. And with that, I welcome in Leon Figures. Leon Figures, talk to me.
Peace, Mr. Dawkins. Peace, the chat. How is everyone today? I'm in two minds with this one. In a sense of whether it's a good boxing decision for Anthony Joshua. For career progression and development, probably jumping the gun a bit. Some confidence building victories are needed. But I disagree with your friend. I think the casuals would love to see Joshua versus Fury. I think that would be a great match for the casuals. Even if he loses, they will say it as, well, at least he's given us big fights. It's the one we've always wanted, especially in England. And if Joshua loses, very few people have expected him to win. So if he loses coming off of back-to-back losses, he's lost to two of the top contemporary heavyweights. And it's a huge money fight. And if he manages to somehow get the win, he's got a rematch, which is bigger. And it's a bigger money fight, and he gets a 50-50 split of that one.
The casuals don't care about his money. The casuals don't care about his money.
No, they care about big fights. They care about tuning into big fights.
Would see him win? No, not even that. They want to see him win at this stage. At this stage, a casual only wants one thing, and that's to see Anthony Joshua win. They're sick and tired. They're sick and tired of seeing him lose. They ain't seen him lose. They ain't seen him win for 2 years.
I think we're forgetting this is England. We are used to supporting. Look at Tim Henman. Guy never won anything. The crowd loved him because he tried.
Gone past that stage now. It's gone past
England are used to supporting people that don't win.
Gone past that stage now.
Well, with Joshua's given him years of victories. If he then goes on, I mean, look at Chris Eubanks, Senior, they look back at his career and he was kind of respected more for still continuing after he lost his belts and after he took losses.
I disagree. After he lost his belt, he was a different animal. Chris Eubank Sr. was known for winning, for talking big and winning. That's what he was known for. That's what
a lot of people would have disappeared when the victories aren't there. And I think looking back afterwards, they say that no, he didn't hide. He still carried on fighting. You know, he allowed himself to drift into that contender status, gatekeeper status kind of thing, and you know, the ones that fighters fight on the come up. And I think that deserves respect. That shows real fighting men. You know, they're not just here for the flashlights and the victories.
Well, they should be because it's a dangerous sport. So once you've reached your peak, I think the best thing is to get the hell out of the sport. I mean, who remembers those fights that Chris Eubank had after he'd passed his peak and he was just lingering around fighting?
The Tanzaki loss was one people remember.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember what's that guy who beat him brutally? It was a brutal fight.
Collins?
No, I didn't watch that. Thomas, was it Thomas? Was it the guy with the wet look, the curly perm? The curly perm. What was his name?
I don't remember now.
I'll look back because we see. Yeah, it was one of the most brutal fights. But you don't remember, and that's the point. That's the point. Why put yourself through that?
Okay, with Joshua, do that. With Joshua, say Joshua loses to Fury next, takes the fight, loses to Fury, banks millions. He's still got the Zhang fight in China, banks millions.
The casuals don't care that he's banking millions. They want to see him win.
Well, he's got. That's what I mean. He's still got a very even if he come off a third loss to Fury, he'll still be heavy favorite for Zhilei Zhang, even in China.
But he's three. Carl Thompson. That was it. Is that his last fight? Holy hell! That was his last fight. Jeez, Carl Thompson. Those two. I didn't realize those were his last fights. I really didn't realize those were his last fights. So fair enough. He didn't carry on as long as I thought he did. Carl. That was. I'm glad he retired after Carl Thompson. Because that was. What was that? What was the results of those fights? Lost unanimous decision, lost retired. Okay, the first Carl Thompson fight, he lost via unanimous decision. That was for the WBO World Cruiserweight title. Thompson went down in the fourth round, but he came back to win by unanimous decision. And then in the rematch, Eubank retired in the 9th round, stopped on the advice of the doctor when Eubank's eyes closed from swelling. Let me just show you Carl Thompson. Let's have a quick close that down. Let's bring up Carl Thompson. Some people might remember his face. Carl Thompson there with a curly perm. I think he was longer than that at one time. Yeah.
I mean, that's a shame. There's being beaten and being beaten with a man with a curly perm.
He had that wet look juice all over him. That wet look juice all over him.
Very soft, but the punches still hit the same whether you got a curly perm or not. But it just made you look
soft. So yeah, I think the casual, my amigo, my compadre, said, "Yo, we want to see him win. We want to see him win."
I think the casuals.
I think you underestimate the desire for the casuals, the desire to see him win.
Remember, these are the same casuals that got so excited over a possible undisputed with Joshua and Fury. So that got a lot of traction before the Wilder arbitration ruling put a stop to it. So I think those same casuals still remember that, and they still say it on TalkSport that Joshua Fury is still a fight they want to see with or without the belts.
They want to see the fight. That's not what I'm questioning. I'm saying that my compadre told me that the casuals want to see Anthony Joshua win. They want, and I think they're right. I think that Joshua I think there's a strong argument to say that what Joshua should do is make the boxing decision, which under these circumstances, a boxing decision would have been to have a couple of fights with some good guys who he could reasonably expect to win.
But look at his career.
Me personally, I know he doesn't do that, but me personally, I wanted to see him. He's been training for 2 years for a southpaw. I wanted to see him with Otto Wallin. Fights Otto Wallin, beats Otto Wallin, go over to China, Zili Zhang, or Zili Zhang first, then Otto, whatever. But have 2 fights, be calm, there's no rush. Have 2 fights, and then you get back into title contention. I'm not sure that this is a great boxing decision, but back to you.
Yeah, I think that there's pros and cons for both, but if you look at his trajectory, his career as it's gone, he's going to say, my boxing record isn't great, but my boxing record has its blemishes, but I've dared to be great. And why should I change? I can really see him putting forward a compelling case for saying, I've got to go for it. I have to go for it. Tyson Fury is so unpredictable. Joshua probably won't believe he's actually going to fight him until he hears ding, ding, ding in the first round. Because Fury is that unpredictable. So he's like, he cannot turn down this opportunity. I still think it's all a big hoax and Fury's going to find some way to weasel out of it. But Joshua has called his bluff and he's put himself in a position now. And that's what made me think it wasn't genuine from them, was that why have Matchroom and 258 had to publicly say we've accepted the offer? Have correspondence gone cold with Warren and Queensbury, which is they've done this to force their hand to publicly say, yep, we've accepted the offer. Fury, they can't use Fury at the moment. Fury looked like a right heartless twat, jumping on social media doing his usual antics during this time of mourning, whereas 258 and Matchroom putting out a professional, yep, we've accepted it. Public in this time of mourning, you've got something to look forward to. December the 3rd, qualifiers of the World Cup, and then Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. What a day of sport. Joshua wants it. Fury's offered it. How's Fury going to turn this around? So if Fury has done this to gain traction for his fight and to simultaneously make Joshua look bad, it hasn't worked in the sense of, yep, he'll have traction gained for his fight, but he's not making Joshua look bad. Joshua's agreed to every term. Every term.
Yeah.
60-40, 50-50, early December. I mean, Joshua coming off back-to-back losses, having what can be described as a mini breakdown in the ring. He's clearly taken a loss bad. He's got a fresh trainer, only one fight with him. And what will this be? From fight to fight? Is it even 12 weeks?
Where is it?
So I mean, Joshua has everything stacked against him.
Yeah, and that's
The
not
only thing we'll be missing will be Wilder's claims of loaded gloves and drunken refs and everything else that Wilder claimed to add on to it. I mean, if Joshua somehow manages to pull this off and get a victory, it would have to be recognised as some huge feat. And all I can imagine is people that don't like him will say he caught him with a lucky punch. But to even be able to produce a lucky punch, to even step into the ring off of back-to-back defeats with somebody that seems like he can just take him, Joshua would need serious credit. And I think Joshua needs credit for the gusto of taking this.
That's the whole point you're talking about. Joshua needs credit, but Joshua don't get credit.
He does. Joshua
doesn't get the credit that his efforts have merited. You know,
I think he does, because I think the YouTube boxing.
Hold on. What I'm saying is that Joshua doesn't get the credit that his efforts have merited. He's hold on a sec. Let me just mute the mic. There you go. Right. He's become unified champion. He got some credit. But ever since he lost to Andreas the Punch Ruiz, there's been a shadow. There's been a shadow. Tyson Fury takes the easy route, and appears to be getting the credit. The fact that he's fought so many soft touches doesn't appear to be a hindrance in public perception. Certainly not in the casuals' perception. That's not a hindrance. So Joshua's done things the hard way and has not got the credit that he deserves for that. Now he's doing something else the hard way. When did he fight Usyk? Fought him in August 20th. So what we're talking about, August, September, August, September, October, November 20th. So that's 3 months. 3 months and what, 2 weeks? Yeah, it'll be 3 months and 2 weeks from losing to Alexander Usyk to him getting back in the ring. About 3 months and 2 weeks.
Well, that's generous of Fury, hasn't he? He's given him an extra 2 weeks plus a 12-week training camp.
So, and it wouldn't have been a 12-week training camp because where are we now? We're in September 13th, September 12th. So what? September 12th. So September 12th, September, October, November, December 12th. So what's that? That's like a 2.5 month training camp after coming off a loss. Joshua's stacked the cards against himself. If he'd have stuck to the late December, then that would have been better. But even then, he wouldn't have had a rest period. You remember, he just
they never gave him that option, though, Raf. They said early December. That was
hold on a second. Remember, people draw a comparison. They say that Joshua. They say, well, yeah, but Andy Ruiz only need 5 weeks. Andy Ruiz only need 5 weeks. Well, let's look at that statement. Andy Ruiz was coming off a TKO. He took no damage in that fight. I think the TKO was in the 5th or the 6th round. So it was a nice little stroll for him. It was a stroll in the park for him on a warm summer's day. And coming off a win, and different scenario from going 12 rounds with the pound for pound ranked number 1, going 12 rounds with him. The emotional fallout from that fight. It's a lot different than coming off a walk in the park, TKO win, 5 or 6 rounds, and then getting back into training camp. It's a whole different ball game. So Anthony Joshua, I think he's done himself no favors with this one. He's done himself no favors at all. No favors at all. He
gets a chance to get that last missing belt, though, Raf.
You have to be sensible and make intelligent decisions. You have to make intelligent decisions. You can't go grasping at everything.
But Raf, it wasn't sensible to fight Klitschko.
It wasn't sensible to fight Klitschko. I accept that and I understand that. But sometimes you got to say, well, hold on a second. Yeah, I'm mixing. We did a show that incorporated betting. No, not betting, investments. Now, sometimes you have high risk investments and sometimes you have low risk investments. And you mix them up. It's not all the time. You're not going to go out there and every time you do an investment, it's going to be high risk. No. And you're not going to go out there and every time you do an investment, it's a low risk investment. No, you mix them up. So there's a time and a place for everything. You mix your options, you mix your investments. You can't keep going out there with high risk investments. It's a high risk. This is a high risk move. When he didn't have to make a high risk move, he could have made a more conservative move. He could have said, hold on a second, let me do the sensible, intelligent thing. This is not sensible this is not a sensible move. It's a high risk move. And it's
his whole career, when the big fights have come up, he's backed himself, rolled the dice. He's lost some, but overall, he's there to be great.
He's there to be great.
I think that's his style. I think that's going to be his style his whole career.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to mix it up. Sometimes you got to go take the low risk option. You can't be going high risk all the time. Sometimes you got to just step back and say, listen,
It's like a drug though, Raf. They've lured him in.
It might be sensible. Sometimes you got to sit back and say, it might be sensible for me to take the sensible option here. Is this a sensible option? What did you just say?
It's like a drug. They've lured him in. You know, he came off those 2 defeats. He was like, all right, let's do a bit of a rebuild. And as Hearn said, we weren't expecting this. Next few years online, we want this offer. They're like, all right, we accept it. Then they get a contract sent over. 60-40, 50-50, November. We're like, no, we can do December. They gave him a December date, and they're like, look, there is no more negotiation. Choose the date, choose those terms. You got nothing, or we go. And they've said, fuck. They've said, all right, let's go for it.
Well,
they've been tempted.
Well, you know, high risk, low risk. He who dares wins. Not really, not all the time. Sometimes he who dares loses. Sometimes he who dares gets their head blown off in war, their legs blown off, their arms blown off, come back in a body bag. So that's a lot of crap for a start. Boxing fans will be glad for this fight. I am a boxing fan. Well, you're a boxing fan. I'm a boxing fan and a strategist. I like and a chess player. I like intelligent, strategic movement, not just throw it up at the wall and see what sticks. I like intelligent movement.
I like fighters sort of finding out who's the best in the ring. At the moment, all we can do is have a debate, let them get in the ring. I'd like to see him in there with Wilder. I like to see them in the ring.
Well,
and
seeing them in the ring,
strategy is second.
Seeing them in the ring is all well and good, but you gotta give yourself the best shot of winning. That's the smart move. You got to give yourself the best shot of winning.
Yeah, but but we can't say that because that's what Fury and Wilder's been doing. And then we as boxing fans, we complain and we look at their resume and you know, they're taking a safe option.
That's what they've been doing. And sometimes the safe option is a good option. Sometimes
this is why I do appreciate what Joshua does.
Well, you appreciate it. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't appreciate it. Sometimes you just got to sit back and you got to do the smart move. Now, Joshua is the captain of his ship, and I think that's a good thing and a bad thing because sometimes you just need an older head to make the smart moves and to help you with the smart moves. Strategy, I'll leave that to his management team. Well, he's the head of his management team, so he's making the moves. Sometimes, and like I just said, sometimes you need an older head at the helm to help with the smarter moves.
Okay, Rafi. If they make the fight, £30 pay-per-view, you buying?
I got a man who'll go up on the roof and adjust the aerial. They should be paying me. I'm promoting that shit. Listen, not everybody's a chess player. I'm a chess player. Some people play chess, some people play checkers. Yeah? Some people play chess, some people play checkers. To me, this is a checkers move. This ain't chess. You know, you look at, I see Fight Doctor in the background there. I'm going to bring you in a second, Fight Doctor. Don't worry yourself. You look at Formula One race and you think, oh, that's dangerous. Yeah, it's dangerous, but the drivers and the engineers try to make it as safe as possible. There ain't no kamikaze just flying around corners. To you, it looks like, oh, the Fight Doctor's gone. Come back in, Fight Doctor. What are you doing? So to you, it may look like they're just flying around corners. But they're doing it as intelligently and as safely as they possibly can. You say, yeah, some people love chess and some people love checkers. And some people, they can't even play checkers. Sometimes you have to make smart, intelligent moves.
But Rafi, I'm giving a point of view as a fight fan. And as a fight fan, I'm very happy if this fight gets made. I doubt it will, but I'm happy if it does.
Okay. And in comes the fight doctor without the avatar. What's wrong with the avatar?
Right, Doctor, welcome.
Where's the avatar gone? What's wrong with the avatar? Where's the avatar? Where's the avatar?
So that's what with the avatar. Fight doctor's in the house. On
No, fight doctor. No. Fight doctor. No. Log out and come back in, fight doctor. You're chippy. You might be in your car or you're getting a bad signal. Log out and jump back in. Chippy. Can't hear you. It's chippy. Yeah. You must think before you move. Jeeves up on the roof. Some people play Connect 4. Some people are on Connect 4. Fight doctor. You need to go out, log out, and come back in because you're chippy. Chippy. You must think before you move. You must think before you move. More of a Domino's man. Love Domino's too. Domino's too aggressive for the tone. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Leon Figures. You're thinking as a fight fan. There's lots of different fight fans. I done told you. You are not a casual. You can't speak on behalf of a casual. I'm telling you, I spoke to a casual, a genuine casual, and he said he wants to see Anthony Joshua win next fight. You're not a casual, Leon Figures. You can't speak on behalf of a casual.
Very true. But I do think that casuals will tune in, and that's why, and that's also what Frank Warren thinks and Eddie Hearn.
You're missing the point, Leon. I'm not saying the casuals aren't going to tune in. That's not what I said. I said that the casual, my compadre, who's a casual, said that he needs to see Anthony Joshua win next time out. It's been 2 years. He's not saying he's not going to tune in. He's saying he needs to see him win next time out. And he's got a damn good point. Almara Woods drops. Almara Woods up in the building. 10p up. 10p up. What's 10p up? What's 10p up? What do you mean? When you throw the money against the wall? Is that what it is? I don't know. And it's got to be the closest to the wall. Damn, them games, I ain't played them games since I was going to school in short trousers, short pants. Yeah, casuals want to see Anthony Joshua win. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing from my compadre. Nearest to the wall? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Nearest to the wall. Where's the fight doctor? Fight doctor, come in and say your piece. Because we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Fight doctor signal needs a defibrillator. OMG. So, yeah, money against the wall game. Okay, I got you. So what other elements do we want to? Okay, there's another element that I almost forgot about. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so Anthony Joshua, and let's share this. Share screen. Boom. All right, so Anthony Joshua enters the WBC heavyweight rankings ahead of possible Tyson Fury fight. Interesting. Okay, so Tyson Fury, who offered Joshua 60-40 purse for their potential meeting, has also been linked to a fight with Mahmoud Shah, the former WBA regular champion, having seemingly entered the WBC rankings at number 19. Who's at 19? Who's at 19? Okay. Oh,
how bad would Fury look if he doesn't face Joshua now, though?
Anthony Joshua has entered the WBC rankings at number 6. Anthony Joshua entered the WBC heavyweight rankings in the latest step towards a potential all British showdown with WBC champion Tyson Fury. The two-time world champion, unified champion, has been inserted at number 6 following successive defeats to Alexander Usyk, who retained, Fury, who knocked out Dillian White at Wembley in April, had seemingly been open to an undisputed clash with Usyk, blah, blah, blah. Aram, AJ isn't anxious for fighting for Fury fight. Well, shows that Bob Arum was talking a load of crapola right there. He's taken to social media, blah, blah, blah. Joshua's entry into the top 15 as a former world champion meets the WBC's criteria for a champion for Fury to defend his titles in either a voluntary or mandatory defense. Fury recently outlined November the 26th at Wembley or December the 3rd at Cardiff as potential dates for the fight. Bob Arum, boxing promoter Bob Arum, says that he cannot understand why Anthony Joshua would want to take the opportunity of a fight against Tyson Fury after a defeat against Alexander Usyk. That's what I'm saying. It's not a boxing decision. It's not a boxing decision. There is no current mandatory challenger in place to face Fury, with Wilder number 1 in the ratings ahead of his eliminator against Robert Helenius in October, and Andy Ruiz number 2 following his recent victory over Luis Ortiz. Okay. So 37 Mahmoud Shah has also entered the WBC ranking, so they've still got Mahmoud Shah on standby.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Tyson Fury take the fight. Fury responded, Diamond Boy, waste of time, load of rubbish. Okay, so yeah, not a boxing decision. It's one of them. It's one of them. It's not that I'm totally against it, but it's just not the right time for me. I'm his manager. I'm saying it ain't the right time. Plus, you're the B-side. Plus, there's a psychological element of you being the B-side and treating you like the B-side. Look how they handled Dillian White. I would not want to be fighting as a B-side under them people. Frank Warren, Tyson Fury, you're the B-side. You're fighting on their card. To me, that's a massive, massive, massive risk. That's a massive.
I'm starting to think this is a genuine fight now.
I think he's called, if it was a bluff, he's called a bluff. I think the fact that he's accepted the December the 12th, the 3rd, the fact that he's done that, and the fact that he's accepted B-side in the money. So it was supposed to be, they were arguing for 60-40. Yeah, I will take that the first fight, but in the rematch, it's got to be 60-40 in our favor. They've dropped that demand. They've dropped that. So they've bent over to all of Tyson Fury's demands. So there is nothing that Tyson Fury can turn around and say, well, no, we couldn't take the fight because of this or that. They've accepted, they've bent over to, well, some people say accepted. I say they're bent over to all of Tyson Fury's demands. I say you can't bend over for them guys. They're shady characters. Look at the way they handled Dillian White. Didn't even want to give him any tickets. You can't deal with them people as the B-side.
So how do we look at Fury if he faces Manuel Charr next? How do we categorize this?
Well, the same way we looked at Fury when he fought Tom Schwartz next. There was no consequences for that. There was no consequences whatsoever. There were no negative consequences. He talks a lot of crapola and he gets away with it. So what consequence will there be? Zero.
He's remarkable, isn't he? He's got some skill.
He's got some skill. He's got some skill. But how are you going to put yourself? You see, Joshua is the captain of his ship, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. Because he's not making a box. Sometimes he doesn't make boxing decisions. Sometimes he doesn't make boxing decisions, and it works for him sometimes. Listen, as a man, you have to understand. You look at your own personality, and you have to understand that there are pluses and minuses. You come to a stage where you say, okay, well, this character traits enables me to do this, but it disenables me to do that. Sometimes you need older heads. We talked about it on this very channel. We talked about it on this show. Sometimes you need older heads in the room. You can't be too grabby. You can't be too grabby. Sometimes you just got to see something that you want and let it be because it's not the right time. On the other hand, they say that the wild boar drinks at the first watering hole. So if you don't take it now, you may not get a chance to take it later. That's life. Those are the choices. Those are the situations that we're confronted with. Do I take it now at the wrong time? Or do I wait and hope that it comes at a time that's better for me? Because right about now ain't the right time. It might turn out to be the right time. It might turn out to be the right time. Personally,
even if he wins, it's totally the wrong time because he's right back into it. He can't have any developments, even if he wins.
There we go. We've talked about it. He needed 2 development fights. He needed 2 development fights, and now he's disenabled himself from getting that breathing space.
Unless Mauricio Suleiman does what he normally does, and he's very lenient with his mandatories. But that WBC top 15 is looking mighty dangerous. And I just don't think Mauricio would give, where he's so friends with Al Heyman, I don't think he would give Joshua any breathing space.
Right. So
I think mandatories would all of a sudden be paramount, whereas Wilder was able to pick an opponent, then he was made a mandatory, like happened with Tyson Fury. Then Dillian White had to threaten to take them to court to get his mandatory called. I think when it comes to Joshua, mandatories will just be thrusted upon him if he somehow managed to beat Fury twice, because he'll have to beat him twice to hold on to the belt.
Yeah,
it just puts him right back where he started, this overachieved and underdeveloped and very, very vulnerable.
Puts him back right where he started. We know Joshua needs a couple of development fights, a couple of breathing space fights. We know he needs that. And what he's doing now is not a boxing decision. It is not. Malcolm Marcel says, get the poll on this one. What's the question?
Is it a smart strategic move taking this fight?
That could work.
Something along those lines.
That could work. Well, first of all, let me get back to you. So Joshua, what I'm saying to people right here is that Joshua needs 2 development fights, 2 breathing space fights where he can develop. I think 2 is suitable. Can't spend the whole. He's 32 now. He's got to get back on the horse sometimes. But I mean, we're not talking about him coming off the horse. We're talking about 2 breathing space fights where he's not a champion against credible opponents. Still, we're not talking about no Tom Schwartz's. We're still talking about me. I'm talking about credible opponents like Otto Wallin, who arguably beat Tyson Fury. If it was anybody else in that ring other than Tyson Fury, Otto Wallin would have been awarded the winner. Because those cuts were nasty. Could have been correct.
That Wallin fight, it was on a cut. It wasn't on any other measure. Did Wallin win? Even a heavily cut Fury, he still outboxed him.
He was just like a boss. But anybody else, that fight would have been called off. Otto Wallin would have been awarded the winner of that fight. Cuts and Otto Wallin, and let's not underplay the fact that Otto Wallin was making Tyson Fury work in the first half of the fight by going to the body. Let's not underplay that. So Otto Wallin was making Tyson Fury work. Otto Wallin, after he cut Tyson Fury, that's when he fell apart because he started headhunting, and that's when he fell apart. But if he'd have kept with his same strategy of going to the body, who knows what would have happened? But so Otto Wallin ain't no punk. So I'm looking at Otto Wallin and maybe Zhili Zhang in China or the other way around or whatever. But we're still talking about top 10 or top 15 opponents. We're not talking about going down to number 40.
Did we recognise Otto Wallin as no punk before Fury fought him? Wasn't we all ridiculing the choice because he should have been fighting Wilder?
We were ridiculing the choice at the time, but Otto Wallin redeemed himself. And he got respect after that fight for being a credible opponent.
Yeah, but we can't do that, Ref. We've got to be consistent. We can't say...
Hold on a second. What can't we do?
We can't ridicule him for... We can't ridicule Fury for fighting Wallin and then not hold Dillian White or Anthony Joshua or anybody else who wants to fight Wallin to that same standard.
No, because Wallin proved himself after that fight. It's like if he fought
Fury by cutting him and getting outboxed with a guy with a cut.
Wallin outboxed Fury in the first half of the fight. It's like if Tom Schwartz came and outboxed Tyson Fury in the first half of the fight, then we'd look at Tom Schwartz differently. We'd say, hey, Tom Schwartz gave Tyson Fury a good fight, but Tom Schwartz didn't. We look at Otto Wallin the way we look at him because he gave Tyson Fury a damn good fight. He gave him a damn good run for his money until he started headhunting. Maybe you don't remember that fight, but Otto Wallin was making a damn good account for himself, and Otto Wallin was taking rounds off Tyson Fury in the first half of that fight before he cut him. Maybe you don't remember that.
I do remember, but I do know that Fury has a remarkable ability to find a way to win, and he's got multiple ways of doing it.
Otto Wallin got respect after that fight because he put in a respectable performance. And so there's no duplicity involved there. No duplicity and no hypocrisy. And Tom Schwartz did not. Tom Schwartz was a walkover, which we thought Otto Wallin was going to be a walkover. But when Otto Wallin turned out not to be a walkover, we gave him respect. And I think that's the way it's supposed to be.
So I knew that Wallin wasn't a walk in the park. A tricky southpaw, decent amateur pedigree. You know, I knew he wasn't the walkover just because people never knew him. I knew he was still. It wasn't a easy fight for Tyson Fury. He was going to give Fury. He would give anybody some trouble. But I just think that a lot of people ridiculed the name.
Well, there's no problem with ridiculing the name because he hadn't proved himself yet. But after the fight, he got his respect. And I think that's perfectly reasonable and perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so then do we hold... Okay, then we should also say the same thing with Luis Ortiz then. Somebody else who lost to somebody good but put in a good performance. Why doesn't Luis Ortiz get the respect then?
Luis Ortiz gets a certain amount of respect, but to be fair, Luis Ortiz is... How should we view Luis Ortiz?
Same way you're viewing Otto Wallin. If we're going to hold the same thing, Otto Wallin has never beaten anybody, but he had a good performance against one of the best.
But we don't see the two as the same because Otto Wallin is not being hailed by anybody, was never being hailed as anybody as a great fighter. Luis Ortiz was always being hailed as a great fighter. So it's a different thing altogether. It's not the same. The two are not the same.
Yeah, I agree. Fair enough. It's not a good comparison. Fair enough.
It's not a good comparison, my friend. So what's the question for the poll?
Was it something along the lines of, is it a good strategic move for Anthony Joshua to take this fight?
Is this a good move on Joshua's part? It's a good move on Joshua's part.
Or is it Fury or development fights? Maybe that's the choice.
Move on Joshua's part, or should he take development fights? Or should he take two
It's just been an enjoyable, spirited debate so far, Rafi. I'm quite enjoying this.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
Throwing some curveballs in there, and even when they get batted back at me, and it's still a nice way to look at things.
It's definitely a way we can explore the options. Is this a good move on Joshua's part, or should he take 2 development fights? Question mark. Yes. No, that's not a good move. A good move. The other option is take the. Hold on. I'm doing this all wrong. Is this? No. Yes, a good move. Okay. Yes, a good move. No. You should take. Two development fights. Development fights. Okay, so I'm going to read this poll out. And you're going to say, Rafi, we're not kids. Listen, people misread the polls all the time. So before I post it up, I'm going to read it out so everyone is perfectly crystal clear about what the poll is saying and which option is their preferred option before you go and press the wrong damn button. Okay, so the poll reads, is this a good move on Joshua's part? Or should he take, full stop, or should he take 2 development fights? And then the first option, the first box says, yes, a good move. No, he should take 2 development fights. I think I've made that as clear as I possibly could have. Must contain between 1 and 30. What's the problem? Oh, you let me post. Yes, a good move.
Too many characters, maybe?
No. Must contain between 1 and 35. What's this damn thing? What's this the problem? -3. Oh, too many characters, yeah. Okay. Community. Right. So I've outlined what the poll says. Please read it carefully before voting. Okay. Let's have a look. Yes. Let's have a look. I have 2.5 month prep. AJ will have 2.5 month prep. Well, how much rest? You'll have 2.5 months altogether, won't it? It's 2.5 months altogether. So what's the rest period? And if you're taking that rest period out of the prep period, then it's not a 2.5 month prep. You see what I'm saying? Or maybe including the rest period. What I'm saying is you need a rest period and then a prep after a 12-round fight. Or maybe with the Andy Ruiz model, he didn't need a rest period. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them. Wild boar, yeah. The wild boar drinks at the first watering hole. TKO says, personally, I reckon it's suicidal for AJ to take this fight. He should have cherry-picked a couple of fights for confidence. Well, I wouldn't say cherry-pick, but I'd say strategic picks. Dr. Woodak. The context is that AJ's career has been fast-tracked. It's time to go back to college before going to uni. Well, he's already at uni. Well, maybe he needs a gap year. I don't really need a gap year. I was just taking a couple more. Syllables. What syllables? Syllabus. Brother, let fame go to his head. Maybe time to go back to the hood where it's all started, staying hungry. What's going back to the hood going to do? Opportunity just can't be missed if it's genuinely there. Well, I disagree. It's like rushing a decision. You ever rushed and bought a car? Has anybody ever rushed and bought a car? This is the one. You made an emotional decision. You bought a car on an emotional decision. Has anybody ever done that? Have you ever done that? Leon Figures, you ever emotionally bought a car? You ever bought a car on emotion?
100%.
And what happened? Was
I
it a
spent
good
a
decision?
load of money driving a 7-seater with just me and my daughter. Well, I kept it for 10 years, and it did end up pulling my my street food trailer. So it did earn its money in the end.
Okay.
But yeah, that was just a happy coincidence. For the 5 years before that, it was just me rolling around in a huge car, just spending hundreds on diesel.
Why
I
did
just
you?
think what it would cost now.
What was
I
the
think it would
attraction?
cost about 300 now to fill it.
What was the attraction?
I was at work. I was working for a sales company, and one of the sales guys rolled in once, and I just saw this Q7, and I was like, I want one.
Yeah.
I want one. It was just a complete. And then that weekend, I went down to the dealership and got it. It was just a complete impulse buy. Like, saw it on a Thursday, said I want one. Saturday morning, I'm driving home with one.
Wow. So it wasn't a great decision.
No, I was in my mid-20s.
Yeah,
So I know that's an excuse, but it was just
it wasn't a great decision, is what I'm saying.
No, absolutely not.
And it was born out of emotion.
Look, but don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun with that car, you know.
Yeah, but that's not the question. I'm not asking if you had fun with it. I'm asking you if it was a good decision or a bad.
No, it wasn't a good decision. Totally,
it was not a good decision, and that's the point I'm making. When you buy on emotion, oftentimes those. I mean, hey, I've bought on emotion. I bought on emotion on several occasions, and it was always a bad decision. Always a bad decision. So I know the buying on emotional, making those emotional decisions are not smart. I've done it myself.
A poor strategic decision and an emotional decision are two different things. I don't think Joshua's doing this on emotion.
He's making an emotional. I think this is an emotional decision right here.
Also,
I think it's an emotional decision, right? I got you. Oh, come on then. I think it's just as emotional as I was emotional in the ring.
Did you think Fury's playing him then, playing on his emotions?
I think he's being manipulated here. He's being manipulated.
He's a guy in his mid-30s.
It don't matter. You're telling me that when you was in your 30s, you weren't still making some poor emotional decisions?
What I'm saying is, he needs to be aware of things like this in his mid-30s.
What I'm saying is that he hasn't got older head. It doesn't appear to have older heads in his camp, and we've talked about it before. Older heads need to be in or around the camp.
Well, he seems like a family man. He seems like he's there with his parents are there.
He seems to be making the decisions, though. He seems to be making the decisions.
Yeah, but as a man, you're supposed to make your own decisions and live by them. Make your own mistakes.
Well, no. I think when you're in a treacherous, when you're in an industry with such treacherous waters being common and normal, you got all kind of predators lurking at every turn. I think you need some older heads in or about the camp to have a little whisper in your ear, in your court.
I think Philip Carl Roberts has said something that's very important.
Sorry?
I think Philip Carl Roberts has said something that's very important. What if AJ's main motivation is financial?
What if AJ's main... This is not a good financial decision, so that's impossible. This decision is not a good financial decision for Joshua.
The lucrative warm-up fights are still there, even if he loses to Fury. He can still fight Zhilei Zhang.
Yeah, this is not a great financial. This is not a great money fight for Joshua. This is not a great money fight for Joshua, not at all. And no way. This is poor.
Come on, they're talking 2 million pay-per-view rights, 40% of a 2 million pay-per-view rights, and if he gets the victory, 50%, and it will be a bigger fight.
Well,
That's
he's
a very
losing.
good financial deal. Which bigger fight has he got?
Absolutely not. I mean, he's
This
absolutely
is
not.
his fight now.
If he was taking this fight as the A side, there'd be a lot more money in it for him. A lot more money.
How's he going to get to the A side?
Well, how he gets to the A side is by taking 2 strategic fights, not this fight, 2 strategic fights, and then fighting Fury down the line. If Joshua was the A side, he could make more money fighting Fury, even if Fury didn't have a belt. Joshua could still be making more money fighting Fury, even if Fury didn't have a belt. This is not a financial.
Fury. You can't guarantee. You can't rely on Fury to still be there.
You cannot rely on Fury to still be there, but you also can't make emotional decisions. And I think this is partially an emotional decision. Get him. Let's get him. We got to get him now. It's emotional. It's not strategic. It's
an emotional decision that's going to pay him very handsomely. I still think it's the biggest fight for him.
It's not. It is not a great financial fight for Joshua. He's losing 10% out of this. Plus, because he's the A side, he's not getting the optimal money that he could make. If Joshua was the A side,
millions of pounds will cushion the blow for that.
If Joshua was the A side, this fight would be bigger.
I think the multiple millions he'll receive will cushion the blow of not being the A side, of just taking 40%.
You're still leaving money on the table. This is not a financial. This is not born out of finances. This is not
okay. Let's say it's 100 million.
Joshua is not born out of finances. So if that's the suggestion, I would say I wholeheartedly disagree. This is not a financial decision for Joshua. This is, to me, a poor strategic decision, or an emotional decision. We know what he should be doing. He should be taking 2 strategic fights to get wins for the casual fans and for himself and for his family and for everybody. He should be getting 2 wins with some good opponents, good quality opponents, and then looking at title fights. We know that's what he should be doing, and that's what he's not doing.
I think Tony's Reviews is asking for a link, Mr. Dawkins. I think he wants to join.
The link's pinned. What more can I do?
Okay.
What more can I do? I can pin a link. What more can I do? What more am I expected to do? Well, thanks for pointing it out, though, because I never saw that. What's going on here? Why is the TV turning itself on for no reason? Let's turn that off.
He wants to get put into this spirited debate.
Tony Reviews is a big Tyson guy, so come on in. Come on in, Tony Reviews.
Yeah, I do think we need a Tyson voice in for a bit of Tyson balance.
Well, you've been doing rather well, Mr. Figures. OMG. OMG. Okay, and in comes the man like Tyson Fury representative.
Welcome, Tony. Welcome.
Mr. Tony Reviews. How do you do, Tony?
First off, I want to say I am absolutely not a representative of Tyson Fury. I don't even like the dude. Hold on.
Okay.
I picked Dillian White to beat him, only for Dillian White to be embarrassed by him. So yeah. I, by far, do not represent Tyson Fury at all.
I thought he was a Tyson Fury representative.
What's that?
I thought he was on the payroll.
Hell nah. I've never liked Tyson. Well, at one point in time, I liked Tyson Fury, but through all his antics, dirty fighting, scandals, don't like him.
Well, talk to me anyway. Talk to me. First of all, hello and welcome. I think this is your debut on the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio Show? Is this your debut?
I don't know. I don't know if I've been on the live talking or not. I know I've been in the chat before.
I think you might have been one time before, but still, this. Let's just call it the debut of Tony Reviews. Come on, folks, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Okay, Tony, talk your talk, brother. Talk your talk.
So, to me, this fight for AJ is career suicide. It would be the dumbest financial move unless he's looking to retire, because that's what this fight's going to do. It's going to put him into retirement. So I look at it like this. AJ's already taken a significant hit to his brand. He lost to Fat Ruiz, who I don't think anybody believes any of the top guys lose to, but he came back and avenged it, which was great. However, now he's been beat twice in a row, outboxed nonetheless, and could not hurt a cruiserweight who moved up in Usyk. So those are major blows. If he loses again, and I would put my damn house on it, that Fury is going to embarrass him if they were to fight next, he's done. Like, it's over. Put a fork in him. In fact, even right now, I don't even know what his ticket sales are going to look like fighting some random guy in the top 15 like Eddie Hearn said they wanted to do. I don't even know if he does 70, 80,000 like he normally does, coming off the two horrible losses that he had.
I think you would. I think you would.
It's possible. You have Chisora, who, you know, gives you wars, but at the same time,
you got Otto Wallin. You got Otto Wallin, who gave Tyson a good run for his money. You got Zili Zhang in China. So Joshua, right about now, is still in good shape. He's still in good shape as far as, and there's lots of people who want to see him win. There's tens of thousands of people who are more than happy and more than listen. Let me interrupt you a little bit. And let me just give you an MMA equivalent. I'm going to come straight back to you, but let me just address a couple of things right about now. If Joshua took 2 development fights, Fury might simply retire, and we might simply. That's the risk. That's a risk. That's a risk, and sometimes you have to take risks. I know it's a cliche, but when opportunity knocks, etc. Well, like I said about the car analogy, sometimes when opportunity, where is it? When opportunity knocks, sometimes the engine knocks too. You know what I mean? Trust me, I've made emotional decisions when it comes to buying cars. I know. You know what I mean? Especially in my youth. I made some real emotional decisions and live to regret them. So emotional decisions, I just don't, you know, I'm not with it. I'm about strategic decisions. And sometimes the only problem is sometimes strategic decisions, they ain't so sexy. Sometimes good strategic decisions, they just don't look so sexy because they're more practical and they're more sensible. And the yield might not be as high as a high risk investments. That's why people get seduced by high risk investments. They look more sexy, but oftentimes they're not the damn right decision. Sometimes the right decisions don't look so sexy. Tony Reviews.
So this is my point. Okay, MMA boxing incomparable. In MMA, you could have 30 losses and be a legend. In boxing, you have 30 losses, you a cab driver. Getting one loss by today's standards, say post Mayweather, is horrible. It's already horrible enough, but he's already got 3 losses.
Hold on a second. Hold on. No.
Let me finish my train of thought. What you got to look at is this. You got to look at the landscape, the market, and where everywhere is heading. Tyson Fury has all the momentum. He beat Anthony Joshua's biggest gate by 14,000 ticket sales. He did that. If he beats Anthony Joshua, the cash cow is dead. And the new cash cow is Tyson Fury, point blank, period. AJ will be doing little numbers. Very little people that have interest in him, and his career will be over. That's why I agree with that.
You can't say that. You're not from England. You're not from England. You don't know that.
I'm telling you,
you don't know that.
I know that he will turn into a Chisora type fighter. Those are the numbers he will do. He will make a decent living, but he will not make a great living if he loses the Fury. I guarantee you. I don't even know how good he sells now. He might already be on
He sells the best. He sells the best.
He did.
He does. He sells the best. Look at his numbers. His numbers embarrass. What have I done? I just did something.
Raphael, I agree with you. But you're talking about his past, his history. We don't know what he's going to do next.
Well,
That's
we
the
know,
problem.
nobody knows the future, but the past does give us indications into the future. And let me tell you this. Now. Anthony Joshua could. I see a road for him. I see a road for him as a guy who has taken losses, but can come back and redeem himself. He can come back and redeem himself, but that's a particular road. There's a road to take. There's a path to take for that. And to me, the path to that is, listen, you have cabaret singers. You have cabaret singers who had a hit or a couple of hits back in the dizzy. And then for the next 30 years or however many years, they make a living going around the world, performing for people who never got to see them perform when they were in their pump. Now, okay, that's a bit of an extreme example, but let me use that example for Anthony Joshua. The fact that Anthony Joshua has taken a couple of losses does not have to be detrimental in terms of his ticket sales. If he makes the right strategic decisions, if he fights Otto Wallin, if he then goes to China and fights Zili Zhang, no problem whatsoever. Tickets would sell just like they did when he was a champion, just almost as much as they did when he was a champion, if not the same. He doesn't have to be detrimental, the fact that he's taken a couple of losses. However, I think if he takes a loss to Tyson Fury right now, then that equation could be somewhat altered. If he cools down, if he does not make an emotional decision or a poor strategic decision, and he says, okay, I'm not going to fight Tyson Fury now because it's not the right time, which it is not the right time. If he does what he's supposed to do, if he does the comeback thing, if he does the rehabilitation thing, which you're supposed to do, you're supposed to have rehabilitation fights, rehab fights. If he does that, then he's fine. But if he goes now and fights the guy who people have been looking and waiting for him to fight right now and loses, I don't think it's a good look.
But see, we're agreeing. We are agreeing, and I don't understand where the disagreement is. The thing is what I'm saying is, like you, I believe he should not fight Tyson Fury. The only difference here is I believe it's career suicide. I believe if he goes in there and loses to Tyson Fury next, he'll never have another big payday. Not what he's used to. He'll be moving tickets like Derek Chisora. He will be the next Derek Chisora. That's what he will turn into. He will be the new Chisora of the UK that guys go to beat up on to make a name for themselves. That's what he will turn into.
Well,
Tyson
why? Because he lost to why? Because he lost to the pound for pound number one best and the second and the arguably the next guy lost to was arguably the best heavyweight in the division. So he loses to the pound for pound best. Then he loses to the best in the heavyweight division. How the hell does that make him no good?
Because he also lost to a fat slob that wasn't even ranked.
When he lost to the fat slob that he lost to is now number 2 ranked in the WBC. And the fat slob that he lost to is going to be the guy who fights the winner of Wilder Helenius, who's going to be the guy who gets the next WBC shot, mandatory shot.
I agree with you, but here's the problem. When Ruiz gets in there against Wilder, because I have all ideas he'll be fighting Wilder, it's going to be a very bad look for AJ when Ruiz is sleeping within the first 4 rounds, which I imagine is going to happen. He's going to get put to sleep. It's just a matter of when. He's too slow. He doesn't move his head. And his last 2 fights, he's been hurt numerous times against guys who aren't even true knockout artists. Like Ariola had him wobbling all over the place. Ortiz had him wobbling all over the place. Whenever Deontay Wilder connects, and he will connect, it's over. So then you got a guy who beat the shit out of, who beat AJ up very badly, getting knocked out very quickly against Wilder, it's going to be even a worse look,
But
especially.
no, that's happened already. That's happened already. That's happened in reverse. Joshua's washed the guys that Joshua's washed guys that White could that Wilder couldn't do. That's already happened in reverse.
I got you. Look, especially if AJ gets in there and gets washed by Fury, which is, I'm telling you, the smartest thing for him to do is what you were saying. He needs to go fight Zilly Zane. He could fight Otto Wally. He could fight all these other guys. Stay away from Fury, because if Fury beats him, I guarantee you he is done. That'll be the last big payday he ever makes.
How's he going to be a gatekeeper if he loses? How's he going to be a gatekeeper if he loses? Because he lost. No, hold on. Because he lost to the number one pound for pound guy in the world, in the whole wide world, and then he lost to arguably the best heavyweight currently, and that makes him a gatekeeper. You guys really need to shake your head. You need something with the brain. You need some operation on the brain. Really, you need operation on the brain.
I got you, but listen.
You lose to the number one. You lose to the pound for pound number one guy in the world, and then you lose to arguably the best heavyweight in the world, and you washed. Really? Is that intelligent?
Listen to me. Usyk is not the number one pound for pound in the world. The only reason why, hold on, let me finish. I see you want to jump in. I see it on your face. The only reason why
he's number one in the world. I'm talking facts.
Let me finish.
Talking facts.
The only reason why
hypothesis, it's a fact.
Let me finish.
Ring Magazine number one.
Got you, but let me finish. The only reason why he's number one is for beating up AJ. That's it. That's all he's done.
That makes him number one. That makes him number one.
Because at the end of the day, at this point, seeing AJ's losses, I question how good he's actually been this whole time.
I'll tell you how good he is. He's good enough. He's good enough that when you beat him, you become pound for pound number one. Do the math. Do the math.
Yeah, he's weak. He has no mental strength. He has none. When have you ever seen a guy get beat up, lose his titles, throw the titles out the ring, spit on him, go out the ring, come back in the ring, hug the dude, hold the dude's flag and say, hip, hip, hooray, hip, hip, hooray. The dude, listen to me.
You watched, didn't you? You was watching, wasn't you?
Yes, but he is mentally broken.
And you're going to be watching his next fight. And you're going to be watching the fight after that. And you're going to be watching the fight after that. So what I don't understand, listen, I can tell you how good he is. I can tell you with the mathematics, but I can do it in one sentence. He's that good that when you beat him, you become pound for pound number one.
Raphael, you made a statement. And I'm going to rebuttal that statement with this. I can guarantee you as much. Well, I watch all boxers fight from all levels, so I watch it all. But I can tell you from
I ain't got time to watch it all. I'll tell you that now. I ain't got time to watch it all.
I got you. That's cool. From a fan perspective, I can tell you this. Had I not made boxing videos, if AJ loses to Tyson Fury, I lose all interest in him. I don't care who he fights next.
Listen to what you're saying. Listen to what you're saying. Yeah, you jump in.
1 second, Tony. 1 second, Tony. If you'll answer one of my questions, if Joshua pulls off to win, how do you view that? If he manages to beat Tyson Fury,
it would be amazing. But you know what's also amazing? You spending your last $5 you have for rent on a scratch-off ticket to win the lotto. That's the same odds he has on winning. It would be a dumb decision because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to make your rent. You're going to lose your place of living and you're going to be homeless on the streets. That's the odds of AJ beating Fury. It would be amazing. He would be back on top in one fight and he'd get a trilogy with Usyk. But the chances of that happening are so small that it's not even worth the risk.
Okay, so as an American, Boxing Hog 28 says, as an American, I know AJ is the biggest superstar in the game. Who's bigger than AJ out there? Who's bigger than AJ out there?
Let me ask you a question.
No, I just asked the question. You can answer the question now. It's beautiful.
I can answer this question because to answer this question truly, you must understand how boxing operates.
No, if you could just answer the question.
No, because this is how boxing works. It's irrelevant who the biggest star is at the time.
It's irrelevant.
No, listen to me. Let me finish. Boxing works like this. The next best thing takes over. The cash cow gets defeated. The next guy up becomes the cash cow, especially if they're from the same country. Here's a case in point. Whenever Mayweather fought Oscar De La Hoya, he was not a cash cow. Oscar De La Hoya was. Oscar De La Hoya had all the money, all the marbles, everything. The minute Mayweather beat him, he was on his road to become a billionaire. The minute that AJ loses to Tyson Fury, he's done. Fury is now the cash cow. That's how boxing works. It's very volatile when you get these losses, especially against another elite from where you're from. You're done. Your marketability is gone. The history of boxing has shown every time that when the cash cows lose to the next guy up becomes the new cash cow.
No, not always. Not always. Who was it? Tyson, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was a cash cow. And when he had his demise, there was nobody who really took his place like that. Yeah, they got some good paydays. Evander Holyfield got some reasonable paydays, and Riddick Bowe maybe got some reasonable paydays, but nobody really came and filled the shoes, filled the boots, filled the black boots of Tyson, of Mike Tyson, the original Tyson. So it's not that you beat a guy and you're going to take everything that he had. It's not necessarily. That ain't necessarily the case. Ain't necessarily
Even
the case.
with Mike Tyson, it is, Raphael. Yes, it is with Mike Tyson. So with Mike Tyson, he lost to Buster Douglas. After he lost to Buster Douglas, he went to jail. Whenever he came back from jail, everybody was interested to see if he was still the same fighter. Once he lost to Lennox Lewis, he no longer had them huge paydays like he was. Lewis took over. Then Lewis went on and retired, and then Klitschko became the next one.
Oh, so that's good. That's good. No, hold on. That's good. I agree with you there. But when Klitschko came, then the thing died. That's the day the music died. That's the day when the music died. Because after Klitschko came, after a while, the American network said, "Nah, we don't want you. Nah, we don't want you." So the day the music died was when Klitschko came. So Klitschko did not inherit. You're good, and you're right. But Klitschko did not inherit Joshua's boots, Joshua's money-making boots. He didn't inherit it. So you helped me make my point. And that's a good thing. Not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But let's move on.
No. I disagree with you.
Leon Figures, jump in when you want to jump in. But first of all, hold on a second. I've got to acknowledge the people in the chat because I have to see what's going on, what they're saying. And remember, there is a poll. That was 30 minutes ago. There is a poll, and it's very close. It's very, very close. But listen, I got to check in with the chat, see what people are saying. How many fighters can make 117 million as a challenger coming off a loss? Who do you make 117 million off? Where's the 117 million coming from? I don't know what that figure is.
Talking about Joshua fighting Usyk.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Wilder will not knock out Anthony. That's what he's saying. Wilder will not knock out. Oh, Andy. Sorry, Wilder will not knock out Andy. What's going to happen in the Andy Ruiz fight? Leon Figures in a couple of sentences. Andy Ruiz versus Wilder.
Wilder lands and knocks him out. Ruiz's feet aren't quick enough. Wilder just keeps him out of range, doesn't engage in silly inside fighting, waits to land the right hand, and down Ruiz gets. He might get up from one because he seems quite tough, but when the second one lands,
yeah,
he falls heavy. And
why can't Ruiz land on Wilder? Wilder's
his
not
feet aren't quick enough. His feet aren't quick enough, right? And Wilder's arms are too long. He can't get in close enough. He can't. Wilder won't be clinching with him. And when Wilder does go for the kill, he's wild with it. So Ruiz will have less opportunity to
do two polls. I wish I could do two polls. I wish I could do two polls because I disagree with both of you. I think that Ruiz, well, I don't totally disagree. I think that Wilder could knock out Ruiz, but I don't think it's an opening shot case like you two do. You two think it's an opening shot case. You two think it's a formality. You two think that it's just what's going to happen. And I don't see it that way. I think Wilder could knock him out. But where I differ from you two guys is that I think that Ruiz could knock Wilder out. I think it's ludicrous.
Ruiz could have knocked Joshua out after he had him concussed, and Joshua still kept getting up. I don't think Ruiz has that power to knock people out like that.
Mm.
And Wilder's got one hell of a chin. I don't care what anyone says. He's got one hell of a chin and he's got heart.
Mm.
Wilder doesn't. Wilder needs to be pinned down as well, and he keeps getting up.
The difference in Wilder and AJ too is when Wilder's hurt, he still fights back.
Oh, I don't know. In that second Fury fight, he wasn't doing much fighting back.
Hold on a second. Did you watch? What was that? Wilder versus no, before that. Wilder versus Ortiz won.
Yep, I did.
Didn't you see him concussed, hanging on the ropes? Did you see the referee? Did you see the referee come in and buy Wilder extra time?
You're proving my point.
I'm not proving your point. I'm disproving your point.
You don't know it. Look,
I'm disproving your point.
No, you're not.
Disproving it.
Because
I'm disproving it.
Listen to me. I'm gonna build off that. After Wilder was concussed, like AJ was, after he was hurt, what happened the very next round? He knocked
the referee came in and
brought
Wilder some extra.
I'm not trying to hear that. He knocked the referee.
No, let's be factual. Let us be factual. The referee came in, bought Wilder some extra time, and then when he could see that Wilder was right, then he let him fight on. Come on, let's be honest.
Okay,
let's be honest.
I don't care. I don't care if the referee allowed a plane to land in the center of the ring and a train to pass through it as well. The fact of the matter is, after Wilder was hurt, the very next round, and mind you, he was hurt at the end of the 6th round, the very end of it. Not the beginning, not the middle, but the very end. Hurt in the bell. In the very next round, he goes out and knocks Ruiz spark out, sleep mode. AJ got hurt, and for several rounds, he did not fight back. He just got battered.
That's not a fair comparison because we know that Anthony Joshua allegedly was concussed before the fight.
Okay, let's do another one with Wilder.
Wilder got concussed during the fight, and the referee
right.
came in and saved him, gave him more time.
Allow me to prove my point with Tyson Fury.
You can try to establish.
No. Look, in the rematch, when Mark Breland threw the towel across the ring, right? At the very second he was throwing in the towel, Wilder was getting beat from pillar to post. He was in the midst of throwing the left hook. He literally was throwing a left hook as the towel came across the ring, which shows you that he was fighting back. Go to the trilogy.
He threw a left hook. That was the first punch he threw in like a minute.
Go to the trilogy. In the trilogy, he was hurt badly. And while he was hurt badly, he still floored Tyson Fury. Damn near knocked him out again in the trilogy. Hurt. He still is dangerous. My only point is this. When Wilder is hurt, he is still dangerous. When AJ gets hurt, we've seen it time and time again. He shells up like a turtle and does not return fire.
No, he returned fire against Vitaly Klitschko when he got hurt.
Rewatch the fight. He showed up until Vitaly was tired, and then he came back after Vitaly quit throwing punches. He never returned fire in between punches.
Are we talking about the same Deontay Wilder who got battered in his last 2 fights? Battered from pillar to post? Battered, annihilated?
Watch what
and has been making excuses ever since. Is that the same Deontay Wilder we're talking about?
Not the point I'm making. I don't care.
The point I'm making is this. In Deontay Wilder's last 2 fights, he got battered from pillar to post. He was exposed as a guy with limited boxing skills. Yes, a big right hand. Yes, but very limited boxing skills. And okay, I will concede that. No, we got to keep it 100. We got to keep it 100. Deontay Wilder is a man with poor boxing skills. And so as slow as Andy Ruiz is, I think Andy Ruiz is going to touch Deontay Wilder's whiskers at least a couple times. Is he going to put him down? Is he going to put him down and keep him down? Maybe not. But he's going to get with Deontay Wilder's chin due to his poor boxing skill, is going to get touched.
But Rafi, as poor as his boxing skills is, what he knows his strength. He's setting up that right hand, and he is adept at keeping himself out of the danger zone and setting up that right hand. He is the only person who's ever been able to break through that was Tyson Fury. Other than that, well, sorry, no, he has been set upon a few times, but he is adept at getting his setting of his right hand off. The only time he's not been able to was the second Fury fight, and even then he did, but he just never landed clean. So we've got to give him credit. The bit of credit is due. We have to have.
I give him credit, but at the same time, if somebody's saying that Joshua ain't worth nothing, then I'm gonna have to go in and I'm gonna have to put the microscope on Wilder.
I never made that statement that AJ was not nothing. What AJ did was great. It was impressive.
Wilder.
No. We were not. I've never made the statement that AJ was nothing, and I've never made the statement that AJ.
You said that Anthony Joshua is going to become, if he loses to Fury, he's going to become a Chisora. Now what I'm saying is that how the hell do you lose to the number one pound for pound guy, and then you lose to who guy who's considered to be the number one heavyweight boxer, and then all of a sudden you drop down to Chisora level? I say that's utterly preposterous, outrageous, and it's a flagrant disregard of the actual facts. That's what I'm saying.
I think he still makes multiple times Fury's Wilder's, not Wilder, Chisora's paydays if he goes to China and gets those China monies with Zhilei Zhang. I think he fills out hundreds of thousands stadiums, Zhilei Zhang and Wilder, even Joshua even coming off of 3 losses if he loses to Fury. I think big money fights are still there for Joshua. They just won't be in the UK.
I think Joshua still sells out in the UK. I think Joshua still sells out in the UK, generally speaking. But I think if he takes this Wilder fight, and he loses, I think it takes a bit of a hit. I think it takes a bit of a hit. If he does it properly and doesn't take this Fury fight, if he takes the Fury fight when he's supposed to take it, which is after a couple of rebuild fights, then I think all is well and good. But I think, timing's so important in this game, and I just don't think this is good timing at all. It's not good timing at all.
I've got a question for Tony's reviews.
Go ahead.
Tony, if Joshua takes the fight and loses to Fury, what do you think is the value of a Wilder Joshua fight in the States?
Wilder won't fight him. There's no point to fight him. There is absolutely no reason to fight AJ at that point, and I don't really think it'll have much value at all. Especially if AJ loses way worse to Fury than Wilder did, there'll be I don't even care to see it. I don't care to see it. I'd rather see Wilder going to fight Joe Joyce over AJ at that point. I don't care. To me, it's just, here's what I was getting to earlier that we got so diverted from it. So the cash cow, where we was, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson lost to Lennox Lewis. The next guy up was Klitschko. You, Raphael, said he wasn't a cash cow, but he really was, because he made over $200 million in his career, which is a lot of money. So after AJ beat Klitschko, then AJ became the cash cow. He straight up became the cash cow after Klitschko. He was not this multi-million-dollar maker like he is now before Klitschko. Once he beat Klitschko, he became that. I'm telling you.
Klitschko had like 50 fights.
Hold on. I'm telling you. If Fury beats him, he will take over the cash cow spot. That's why I think it's stupid. If AJ was to go to Zhilei Zhang, like Raphael was saying, I think it still does good numbers. If AJ was to fight Wilder right now without getting another loss, I think it still does good numbers. But if AJ goes in there and loses to Fury, there is no more value in just being the fourth man to beat him up. There's no value in it.
Okay, what if AJ manages somehow to beat Fury twice? AJ is the WBC champion versus Wilder. How big of a fight does that become?
It would be huge. Even if AJ didn't fight Wilder and he fought Usyk for a trilogy for Undisputed, it would be huge.
Wilder has no intention of fighting Anthony Joshua ever.
I think if Joshua got the WBC belt, I think Wilder would face him.
Why?
For the belt. For
Well,
Sophia.
he had 3 other belts, and Wilder didn't want to fight him. Well, so
Wilder had his own belt at the time. Now he doesn't.
but
He's
why
in a
would
similar position now to Joshua is.
why wouldn't he fight him when they both had belts?
Because he didn't want to fight on his own.
I'll tell you why. The reason why Deontay Wilder did not fight Anthony Joshua when Anthony Joshua had all 3 belts is because Anthony Joshua looked indestructible. He looked like he was not going to be beat. He looked like he was the best of the era. But what's happened since then is he's lost to Eddie Ruiz and he's lost to Usyk twice.
And Wilder still didn't want to fight him.
Hold on. The invincibility built around AJ's name is no longer there, and that is not correct. That is not correct.
And Wilder still don't want to fight
him. Wilder has said that he sees him fighting him before he retires.
And Wilder, hold on. Wilder has said that they just want to they just want to use me as they just want insurance, man. They just want insurance. We're not interested in that guy. They just want insurance. Why still after the loss, after Joshua's loss? So he didn't want to fight him beforehand because he looked invincible. What's Wilder's reason for not wanting to fight Anthony Joshua now?
What I'm telling you is, I believe he would fight him, especially if
he's turned down the latest offer, my friend. He's turned down the offer. So I'm asking you, he didn't want to fight him before he lost, and he's turned down the offer since he's lost. Why does Deontay Wilder still not want to fight Anthony Joshua? Tony Reviews, please give me an answer.
So show me this offer since AJ lost to Usyk the second time that Eddie Hearn sent him, because I remember Eddie Hearn said that they were going to fight a top 15 fighter to get AJ's confidence back, and then they would be looking to fight a Deontay Wilder.
Let me show you the offer. Let me show you the offer. The offer was acknowledged by Deontay Wilder, and it was acknowledged by Shelly Finkel. That is me showing you the offer. So the question remains, Tony Reviews, why did Deontay Wilder still not want to fight Anthony Joshua now after his loss? We know why he didn't want to fight him before, but why now? Why does he still refuse?
Again, I will restate what I just said. Show me the offer.
I've shown you the offer. The offer was acknowledged by Deontay Wilder, and it was acknowledged by Shelly Finkel. So we know there was an offer. Please continue.
Wait. You're telling me I asked you to show me.
No. I'm telling you that Deontay Wilder acknowledged the offer and Shelly Finkel acknowledged the offer. There can be nothing more that you need to acknowledge that the offer was made. Now the question is, why is Deontay still declining the offer?
I'm looking in Google right now, and I don't see this offer.
You don't need to look in Google. Deontay Wilder acknowledged the offer. Shelly Finkel acknowledged the offer. So the question remains, why does Deontay Wilder still not want to fight Anthony Joshua?
What I'm asking you is, where are you seeing this offer? If I cannot find it online, where did you find it?
Well, if I know that Deontay Wilder has, no, I don't have to waste a second of my time looking on Google when I know, and everybody in the chat knows, that Deontay Wilder has acknowledged the offer. Shelly Finkel has acknowledged the offer, so I don't have to waste 1 second of my time looking for the offer when it's already been acknowledged publicly by the principal players. Now, I ask you the question again. Why does Deontay Wilder still decline the fight with Anthony Joshua? Please answer the question. And if you can't, say, Raf, I can't answer the question and we can move on. It's not a problem. But I guarantee you, I will not waste a second of my time looking for an offer that has already been acknowledged by the principal in public, by the principal parties. Please.
The only offer I see is from 2018. So I cannot answer your question without...
Well, take it from me. Take it from Leon Figures. Take it from everybody in the chat that the offer has been acknowledged by Deontay Wilder and Shelly Finkel. So take it from that point, and then please answer me if you can, if you wish. Why does Deontay Wilder still decline the offer to fight Anthony Joshua?
Again, I'm having to go off your word because there's no
Yes. No. Don't just go off my word. Don't just go off my word.
That's all I got to go off of.
Go off Leon Figures' word. Go off everybody in the chat's word. Go off everybody who is going to watch this. Go off everybody who's going to watch it in the future.
Leon,
please, if you don't want to answer the question, just say I don't want to answer the question.
Leon, have you seen in 2022 this offer that was supposedly made to Deontay Wilder? Because the only thing I know that I have seen, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Leon, is Eddie Hearn made a statement, I believe it was on IFL TV, that said that he wanted Anthony Joshua to fight a top 15 guy next, and then move on to fight a guy like Deontay Wilder or Joe Joyce or etc., a top-tier fighter. The only thing that Wilder responded to, in my acknowledgement, is the statement that Eddie Hearn made about what he wants AJ's path to be. I've seen nothing about offers, so please tell me if you can find the offer, if you've seen the offer, give me a link or tell me where you saw it so I can look at it. Leon,
no, you don't need to look at it. You don't need to look at it. You can go off my word that Deontay Wilder, he's still wasting time. Deontay Wilder and Shelly Finkel have both acknowledged that they received offers. I've seen it. I've seen them acknowledge it in multiple times, in multiple places. Now, my question to you is why Deontay Wilder still declines.
I've just sent Rafi a link on IG about a boxing scene article.
Yeah, what does it say?
Should be enough. It discusses.
I'm not here to prove. I'm not here to prove the point. I've already told Tony Reviews what the situation is. I'm not here to prove the point. I'm not here to prove anything. I've told him what the situation. I've told him there's an offer. If he's saying that he doesn't believe me, then that's on him. But I will look at your thing, but I ain't gonna pull it up because he should be able to believe. And if he doesn't want to believe me, that's not a problem either. Just go off a hypothetical.
I'll read an extract from it. After the fight, Wilder took to social media to suggest that Hearn had reached out to him simply for insurance purposes in a follow-up interview with ES News. Wilder claims Hearn's attempt to broker a deal with him before Joshua's big fight was evidence that he had no confidence in Joshua's ability to defeat Usyk. That's coming from Wilder himself with ES News.
Right. Are you satisfied? Are you satisfied, Tony Reviews?
So what you just read is he said he suggested, which means that he did not say definitively that it actually happened. And then it also says that he was trying to make this fight before he even fought Usyk for the rematch. So that's a hypothetical whether AJ wins or loses. And what Wilder was saying is he believed Eddie Hearn had no faith in him because if he's trying to make the deal now, he knows AJ's going to lose. So he's trying to broker some type of deal, I'm guessing, so they can still make money off of AJ after the loss. I don't know. I don't know what the response is. I don't know the situation. If he doesn't want to fight him, I have no idea why he doesn't want to fight him. I don't know if he doesn't want to bring AJ money. I don't know if he's scared of AJ. I don't know because I haven't read it. I haven't heard him say it. I haven't seen it. So my answer is I do not know why he would not fight him. But to think that Deontay Wilder is scared of AJ at this point, to me, is ridiculous.
Okay, I wasn't going to show it. But I'll bring it up. Because finally, at least you kind of half answered the question, at least.
No, I just said I don't know. I haven't seen it.
At least you had to make an attempt to kind of answer the question rather than saying you haven't seen the damn thing, but you know, and everybody else has seen it. I mean, come on, brother. Come on. Hearn responds to Wilder about Joshua deal. On what planet would you not even ask what the offer is? So Deontay Wilder, Eddie Hearn says he was genuinely befuddled by Deontay Wilder's latest comments directed at him. The British promoter revealed a few weeks ago that he had reached out to Wilder's longtime handler, Shelly Finkel, about a lucrative fight deal that he had for Wilder to face Anthony Joshua. Hearn, however, said he never heard back from Finkel. Okay, what's the date of this piece?
It says September 4th.
So the date is, you said you wanted something in 2022? Okay, how about September the 4th, 2022? That fits the criteria, right?
Yeah, that was this month.
That fits the criteria of what you wanted. Okay, so you got it. You got it. As they say, BK, you got it.
Keep scrolling down. The article continues. I just want to see what it says.
Okay, well, I'm just showing you the date. That's first and foremost.
No, I saw the date, September 4th.
All right.
I'm just saying. Look, Raphael, what I'm saying is I have never seen this. You are breaking news to me. I did not know this.
Okay. So let me continue. Okay. So the British promoter revealed a few weeks ago that he had reached out to Wilder's long-term handler, Shelley Finkel. Hold on. Am I showing this properly? Okay, cool. Shelley Finkel about the lucrative fight deal that he had for Wilder to face Anthony Joshua. Hearn, however, said he never heard back from Finkel. Hearn made his comments before his star charge was set to take on Alexander Usyk, heavyweight Jeddah. After the fight, Wilder took to social. Oh, here we go. After the fight, Wilder took to social media to suggest that Hearn had reached out to him simply for insurance purposes. Everything I said to you beforehand is being revealed here. That's what I said before. Wilder said, yeah, he just wanted some insurance. Yeah, there it is now in black and white. In a follow-up interview with ES News, Wilder claimed Hearn's attempt to broker a deal with him before the Joshua's big fight was evidence that he had no confidence in Joshua's ability. You see, I can't even deal with the guy. He's almost brainless. What about having a fight after you have a fight with Usyk? And if he wins or if he loses, it don't matter. It's still a big fight. So what the hell are you talking about? It's still a big fight. You want big fights, don't you? So instead of fighting Joshua, you prefer to fight your sparring partner, your training partner. Instead of fighting Joshua for a massive deal, massive money, lucrative fight deal, you'd rather fight Robert Hellenius. This guy, the truth. Let's continue. Do I even continue? I don't even have the heart to continue. Deontay Wilder talks so much crap. I ain't even got the heart to continue reading the crap that he says. Because listen, let's just give you the headline. Because at the end of the day, the guy don't even own his own career. Joshua runs his career for better or worse. Deontay Wilder, I think he's a Paul Heyman puppet. And the real reason he don't fight Joshua is because he's not allowed to. And that's sad.
So, Raphael, what I want you to do is look in your private chat from the same website. Well, was it Boxing Scene? Yeah, from the same website. I want you to click that link and see how they said that they're open to fight him. They never turned it down. So
they said they're open to fight him. Well, how come they haven't responded to the offer?
Well, read the article and you'll see what Shelley Finkel said. Because you said Shelley Finkel said that they would not take the fight, and what Shelley Finkel's response was not that. That they said. That
I never said that Shelley Finkel said they'd never take the fight. I never said that.
Wilder and Finkel said it.
No, Wilder implied that he ain't taking the fight, has no interest in the fight, and you've heard him through your own ears. Now, Shelley Finkel, I understand that Shelley Finkel has said we're interested in the fight. I never reported on that because it's a direct contradiction to their actions. Their actions are they receive an offer, they don't respond to the offer. So this here, which is an article which I'd heard about, I didn't even comment on it or report on it because it's a direct contradiction to the reality of their actions. Their actions are they receive an offer, they don't respond. So to come out in an article and say, hey, what does he say? Deontay Wilder open to it. And to come out and say we're open to fighting Joshua is a direct contradiction to the reality. The reality is they receive an offer and they don't respond to it. To this day, they have not responded to the offer sent. What is this now? September 10th. The previous offer, the previous thing was dated article September 4th. They have still not responded to the offer. So what is the point of this article when they've not responded to the offer? They're saying in an article, we are open to fight Anthony Joshua, but they have not responded to the offer they have received. So it's a load of crap.
So the point of what I sent you was from the same website, Boxing Scene, that was September 4th, what you read. 6 days later is what I sent you on September 10th, to where Shelley Finkel said that they're open to the fight, that they would not walk away from the money. However, they have a fight already lined up to fight Hellenius. He's already locked in.
But they have not responded to the offer in any way, shape, manner, or form. So if you were interested in a fight, you would respond to the offer and say, hey, I appreciate your offer.
I disagree.
But
because you have to win first. You have to win first. Because I could put it like this.
They'll fight him whether he wins or loses. So you don't have to win first.
I don't know.
They'll fight Deontay Wilder whether he wins or loses.
So you don't have to win first. Here's how I look at it, Raphael. I look at it like this. If Deontay Wilder loses to Hellenius, just like AJ, if AJ loses to Fury, Wilder's done. His career is over. His credibility is out the window.
Well, so
I don't know. Hold on. Let me finish. Hold on.
Instead of Hellenius.
Listen, what I'm saying is this. If Deontay Wilder loses to Hellenius, if he loses to me, his career is over.
Instead of Hellenius.
No, I got you. But listen to what I'm trying to tell you. If Wilder loses to Hellenius, I highly doubt Eddie Hearn would still put AJ in the ring with Wilder after him losing to Hellenius. So at the end of the day,
instead of Hellenius.
Right, Joshua could fight Hellenius instead of Wilder, but my only point is this: Wilder has to beat Hellenius in order to even do a bargaining deal with Eddie Hearn to get AJ. He has to win the next fight.
So contact Eddie Hearn and tell him, hey, listen, this is the program. This is our program. But he has not contacted Eddie Hearn.
I don't know.
So that's like you selling a house. That's like you selling a house. I'm interested in the house. I send you an offer, but you're going on vacation you're working away for 6 months.
No, I'll give you a better one. I'm trying to buy a house from you. You send me an offer. If I tell you I'm interested in the offer, I want to get the house, but I can't get your house until I sell my house. Okay. I'm not gonna buy your house and then have my house on the off chance that I can't sell my own house.
That's a good one. That's a better one. But he ain't done shit.
He is. He's getting in the ring with Hellenius.
But he ain't contacted. But he ain't contacted her.
I'm not in his camp. I'm not in AJ's camp. I'm not with Eddie Hearn. I'm not with Shelly Finkel. I have no idea what they talk about.
Well, no, but we do. But you do have an idea because Eddie Hearn has told you he ain't been contacted, and Shelly Finkel has not said we have contacted Eddie Hearn. So on the one hand, you know from Eddie Hearn that he has not been contacted, and you know from Shelly Finkel that he has not said he has contacted Eddie Hearn. So he ain't contacted him.
Again, all I know is Eddie Hearn said he wanted to fight him. Shelly Finkel said they're open to fight him, but they got to get it through Hellenius first. We'll see what happens after Hellenius, because I imagine it doesn't even make sense for Deontay Wilder to fight AJ, in my opinion. What's the point? You beat Hellenius. AJ gives you nothing because he has nothing. You go on to fight Ruiz, and then you get to fight for undisputed. Why would you even fight AJ? It makes no sense.
Makes no sense to fight AJ? Under what circumstances does it make no sense?
Let me just say what I said again. Wilder fighting AJ does nothing. AJ has nothing. He has no titles. He's not a mandatory to fight.
So why is Fury fighting AJ if it does nothing?
Because Fury's trying to take all his fans and kill his career. That's why Fury's fighting AJ.
Why don't Wilder fight Joshua and try and take all his fans and kill his career?
Listen to what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm listening. Why don't Wilder fight Joshua and take all his fans and kill his career?
I got you. Listen to what I said.
I'm listening to what you said.
For Deontay Wilder, it is different. For Deontay Wilder, fighting Anthony Joshua does nothing. Why? Because it doesn't make him a mandatory for any of the titles. So beating him puts him in no position to get the belts. If Wilder goes on the route he's on, beats Hellenius, beats Ruiz, then he will get the winner by default out of Usyk and Fury for undisputed. That's all he has to do. Why detour and fight AJ?
Because it's more money. Because it's more money. It's the prize fighting game. They're prize fighters. They fight for prizes. They fight for money.
Some of them fight to be undisputed.
Well, Wilder doesn't fight to be undisputed. We know that.
He fought to be a champion. We know that, and this is the
We
best
know he
part.
don't fight to be undisputed. We
He
know
fought
that.
to be a champion.
We know he don't fight to be undisputed. We know
fought
that.
for a championship, and this is the fast. AJ does not get him to the title faster. AJ does nothing. He does nothing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. As much as you don't like
you're going
to hear,
around
he
and
does
around
nothing.
and around and around. You're going around and do you have roundabouts in America?
I don't know. Very few. You talking about like where the cars go around them? Yeah,
round and around and around and around and around. You're going round and
You're
around
going
and around and
because
around.
you can't accept.
You're going round and around and around and around.
Here's the problem. Here's what the disconnect is. You don't like to accept because of the losses AJ took. He does nothing for Wilder at this point. Wilder gains nothing.
Oh my God.
So what does Helenius give Wilder?
You're almost as delusional as Wilder. What do you mean he does nothing for it? It's prize fighting. It's prize fighting. They fight for prizes. You're telling me lucrative offers does nothing for Wilder? You're almost as delusional as Wilder is.
Yo, Rafi, let him explain how Helenius puts him in a better position than AJ. I gotta hear that.
I'll answer the question for you. The reason why he's fighting Helenius, the reason why Wilder is fighting Helenius is because Mauricio Suleiman came out and said that the winner out of Ruiz and Ortiz would fight the winner out of whoever fought Helenius, and they would be the mandatory. The winners out of those two would be the winner to fight the WBC champion, which is Tyson Fury. So
what's that? 2 years ago?
No. Listen, Ruiz beat Ortiz. Now he's pending who's going to fight him to be the mandatory for the WBC title. So if Wilder beats Helenius, then he fights Ruiz, and he's the mandatory for the title. He's the next one that fights Tyson Fury.
So he fights Fury for a 4th time and gets waxed again? What does that do for him?
What does that do
It
for his
puts him
brain
in
cells?
contention for the belt. Even if he gets waxed.
Listen, he should go a different
I'm
route.
going to get some water.
That makes no sense. So he's going to go after the WBC belt for a 4th time against the guy who waxed him 3 times.
Okay, Marcus,
it wasn't even close any of the times. So why wouldn't he go for any one of the other belts?
Let me ask you this. For any of the
there's
other
no
belts,
reason to ask nothing, bro. You're delusional, dude.
No,
Sorry.
Because let me ask you something. If Deontay Wilder beats Anthony Joshua, what belt does that make him a mandatory for?
Who gives a shit? It gives him like $40 million and he could sail away into the sky. Like, just go away.
You just killed your own argument. You just stated out your own mouth, which now
Wilder doesn't need another belt. The WBC belt doesn't do nothing for Wilder.
Listen to me.
And he's not getting it from Fury. So what are you talking about?
You just contradicted yourself. You just
said, because there's no reason to go for
your words. I'm going to say your words, Marcus. Your words were this. Why doesn't Wilder go for another belt? That's what you said. So what I asked
one of the other belts.
What I asked you was, okay, cool. Wilder goes for another belt. What belt is Anthony Joshua mandatory for? None. You said, who the fuck cares about the belts? You just killed your own fucking statement.
Because you're talking about belts when you know damn well Wilder's not getting the WBC belt anyway. So let's act like belts are important. For real. Let's act like that, right?
Wilder ain't getting no WBC belt. He ain't beating Fury.
Yo, you got to be delusional as hell if you think he's going to beat Fury after getting smoked the last 2 times. And he lost the first fight. Come on, man. Like, it's not... Fury is all up in Wilder's head. He doesn't get more money from a 4th fight with Fury than he does with a single fight from AJ.
I'm sorry, but AJ...
A single fight with AJ gets paid more money than he did with all other fights with Wilder.
It doesn't matter. AJ doesn't put you in contention for anything. AJ at this point...
But he's not winning the belt for Fury.
AJ at this point is just a name. AJ at this point is just a name, and I guarantee you...
Which Wilder needs because he doesn't have one. Old Tease is his best name. Old Tease is Wilder's best name. If he beats AJ, it's at least some kind of other top 5 name. that he could have on his resume.
He's
He
about
has
to be-
0 top 5 names
He's
on his
about to be the
resume.
top 5 fighter. Hellenius is ranked in the top 10.
Hellenius ain't no damn top 5 fighter.
Yes,
bro.
he
What
is.
the hell
He's
happened
ranked in the
to
top
him,
10. He was ranked in the top 10 whenever he beat Kalnacki. What the fuck are you talking about?
Who gives a fuck what he's ranked? Oh, my fault. Who cares what ranking he is in the WBC?
Listen, you just contradicted yourself again. You said he should fight Anthony Joshua because he's a top 10 ranked fighter. He's never fought a top 10 ranked fighter.
No, I mean overall.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Overall.
Then I tell you.
Overall, not in a single sanctioning body, because you're saying AJ's not in top 5 in any of the sanctioning bodies?
Oh my goodness.
He's not in the top 5 in any of the sanctioning bodies?
Then I tell you, Robert Hellenius is a top 10 ranked fighter. Now again, you contradict yourself and said, who the fuck cares about the top 10?
I'm talking about overall, not this single WBC garbage rankings. Overall, who's the top 5 fighters? You're telling me Hellenius is a top 5 heavyweight overall.
Who said Hellenius is a top 5 heavyweight? Who said that?
Top 10, not 5. You said top 10.
No, I said top 5. AJ is still a top 5 heavyweight. So he fights another. You got Fury. You got Fury, AJ, Wilder, and Usyk as the top 4 guys. Hellenius isn't the 5th guy. So what are you talking about? And to tell you the truth, I'm being generous by putting Wilder in the top 4 because he's never done anything to even be there. So I'm being generous by putting him there.
He ain't want to fight in 3 years.
Deontay Wilder doesn't want to fight in 3
years.
Marcus, you do realize, like I said, that Deontay Wilder beats Hellenius. He fights Andy Ruiz, who is most definitely a top 10 ranked fighter in the world, who also beat AJ. You do realize that, right?
Yeah, but that's if what and buts he can have AJ right now.
He's gonna fight Fury again and get bossed up again.
Okay,
listen, Wilder doesn't need a win because AJ doesn't have a win. They both are coming off of 2 losses. So Wilder doesn't need to go get a win. AJ doesn't need to go get a win. Just fight.
Just fight.
What's AJ gonna do? Get busted up by Usyk again?
No, let Wilder and AJ fight, and whoever wins is back in the
Let Wilder and AJ fight. Let Wilder accept the AJ fight. Don't worry about Hellenius. Don't worry about Hellenius because all that's going to do is don't worry about Hellenius because all that's going to do is he's going to lead him back to who? To Ruiz.
Bum bashing. All that's going to do is give Wilder bum bashing again. That's all that's going to do.
He's going to get bossed up by Fury again. He's on a road to meet Fury again to get bossed up again. Why don't he take a different route? Take a lucrative fight against Anthony Joshua.
Right. Let me ask you about AJ.
I'm sure if he beats AJ, that puts him in the WBO rankings.
Let's focus on AJ. Let's focus on an easy fight to be made. A fight that's right there in his backyard. Why doesn't Anthony Joshua?
Because that's all Wilder's done his whole career is right there in his backyard.
No. Let's go with this. Let's go with AJ. Why doesn't he fight Joe Joyce?
Let's go with this. Let's go with this.
Fight Joe Joyce.
Let's go with this. Marcus Lauer came on. I have to leave and go and get some water. Now I'm back. We're going to have to extend the courtesy to Marcus Lauer to hear what he has got to say. Marcus Lauer, that surname. Talk to me about the surname just for a second. Lauer.
It's Italian.
Okay, Marcus Lauer, an Italian man called Marcus. I've never known that before.
Bro, I'm supposed to be a Mark, but there was already 2 Marks in my family, so my father named me Marcus.
Okay, and the surname is Italian. Okay, you see, I learned something new. Marcus Lauer, you're the latest guy on the panel. Please tell me, talk to me.
I think it's a great fight, Wilder versus AJ. They both coming off of 2 losses, and the winner is back in contention. It makes perfect sense for both guys. A win over either one of each other puts them right back in the talk. But right now, they're both out of the loop, if you ask me. The main 2 guys is Fury and Usyk, bar none. There's no other conversation. Mm-hmm. But at least if these 2 guys fight, the winner is back in the loop. Who gives a crap about individual rankings and Wilder beats Helenius and he's back into a fourth fight with Fury. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So that's a third waxing he's gonna get, possibly. The last fight, my God, I give Wilder a lot of credit for hanging in that fight, but I give his corner like the worst corner ever for allowing him to.
They needed Mark Breland in that corner.
Yeah, because he might have stopped it in the 7th round instead of going 11. And Wilder might have took the beating of his life, and we don't even know if he's going to be the same again. At least AJ went the distance with Usyk, who isn't a heavy puncher. He didn't get his lights beat in. You know what I'm saying? Who the hell even knows where Wilder's at right now? That's why maybe I can see why his fans want him to go the Helenius route, because if he goes in there with AJ and gets sparked out, he's completely gone. Right? If he goes in there and AJ knocks him sparked out, because we know, I don't give a crap, we know AJ's a harder hitter than Fury. But I mean, just because Fury started working out and now he's knocking Wilder out, he was a light puncher his whole life. He never sat down on his punches. Now he's starting to sit down on them. But we know that he's more of a specimen, AJ. He's definitely a harder hitter. And if he was to catch Wilder clean and spark him out, Wilder's just out of the game. So I can see why his fans are like, maybe we shouldn't go that route. But he's been going the easy route and his own backyard for the last 12 years. People are tired of it.
Yeah. Well,
and it's not a hard fight to make. It's only a hard fight to make because Wilder and his team make it a hard fight to make.
Yeah.
That's the only reason it's a hard fight to make.
They have avoided
I'm sure Eddie Hearn
plague.
and AJ would gladly make that fight as easy as possible if they could.
So
they've avoided that fight like the plague. Like the plague. Leon figures, because we're coming close to the end of the show now.
Right.
Let me bring you
Did
back
you
up.
ever hear? Let me just say this real quick, right? Did you ever hear that interview with Fury when he spoke about him sparring with AJ many years ago when they were both like still coming up?
Yes.
He said the dude put it on me, and that kid's gonna be special to watch him, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee ever since that sparring session, there's something about AJ's style that Fury does not like, and that's why he never has been chasing that fight either.
True.
We know styles make fights, and we know we know Fury's overall the better fighter, but that doesn't mean you can't lose to an inferior fighter because their style is just all wrong for you. And that's why I believe Fury's never wanted to fight AJ, because whatever he saw in that sparring session was like, this is not good.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's bring it back to reality.
These are final words now. These are final words now because it's late over here. Man's got an early start, work in the morning. So final words, we're starting with Tony Reviews.
Okay, so we'll bring everything back to reality. Anthony Joshua does not put Deontay Wilder in contention for anything. The people that puts him in
contention for a huge money fight.
I don't care about the money. I'm talking about the belts. So moving away from the money, let's talk about legacy. Daniel Dubois puts him in contention. Joe Joyce puts him in contention. And Hrgovic puts him in contention. Those three will give him a chance at the WBO, WBA, or IBF titles. However, Andy Ruiz, who he'll fight next, if he beats Helenius, which he probably will put him in contention for the WBC title, which he was the long reigning champion for. Those four fighters are the ones that put him in contention. Anthony Joshua does none of the such. If you're going to go off of Tyson Fury's words, you need to tell everything that Tyson Fury has said. First off, yes, Tyson Fury did say that AJ sparred with him and he almost got knocked out by him if he wasn't better. We know this. However, Tyson Fury is also on record saying that Deontay Wilder is a much better fighter than Anthony Joshua. He has said that numerous times.
Why would he say that?
He isn't a better boxer.
Be honest. Why would he say that?
And he's talking crap. As you know,
I thought this was my
He would say that to make his wins look better, bro. Come on.
Everybody knows he's talking crap. We can't just say that and get away from it.
Let's bring it home.
He also called Wilder a bum basher. He also called Wilder a bum basher. So when is Fury telling the truth?
Yeah.
Right. I got you. So we're going to land the plane right here. We'll land the plane right here. If Fury was so scared of AJ, like Marcus claimed, then it's mighty funny to me how once Fury called out Usyk got injured, can't fight this year. And the first person Fury runs to is Anthony Joshua, which is the fight being made right now between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury literally went from the Usyk fight to the to the AJ fight, which we're currently talking about right now. So he is by far not scared of Anthony Joshua.
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out if he actually accepts the fight and goes forward with it. If he accepts the fight and go forward with it, then we'll see. But it might be a little bit too soon to say that because, you know, he might put speed bumps. He might put barriers up in the way. Can't put anything against them. Them are some shiesty characters over there. Frank Warren, Tyson Fury effectively stole from the homeless when he said he was donating his purse to the homeless, and then he didn't do it. Is that theft? If you say you're going to give to the homeless, you're going to build houses for the homeless, and then you don't do it, is that stealing from the homeless? Tony Reviews?
You can't steal something from somebody that they never had. Is it not being a man of your word? Yes, it is not being a man of your word, but you by far cannot steal anything from somebody that they never had. So
if you promise,
it doesn't matter.
If I promise, forget about promises. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you one more time. I'm gonna ask you one more time. And I'm gonna accept your final answer, bro. I want you to think about it first.
I was just going through this.
If Tyson Fury says he's gonna build houses for the homeless, and then he don't build houses for the homeless, is that stealing from the homeless?
So I'm going to answer it like this. Raphael, if you told me right now you're going to stop doing YouTube videos and give me all your subs, so I increase by your amount of subs, but you don't quit doing YouTube videos and you keep all your subs, you did not steal subs from me because they were never mine to begin with. So no, he is not stealing from the homeless, but what it would make him, and it would make you as well, is not a man of his word. He is definitely not a man of his word. I don't like Tyson.
Would it make him a shiesty individual?
He's a very shiesty individual, and I'm telling you this. Even though I know it's not going to happen, I hope Anthony Joshua knocks him out. I know we can't knock him out, but I would love to see it. I do not like Tyson Fury. I do not like him.
Okay. And that was the words from Tony's review. Tony's review. You remind me of the Fight Doctor. You have some similar tendencies. You wouldn't accept that when I said that Deontay Wilder had received an offer and acknowledged it publicly. You wouldn't accept when I said that Shelly Finkel had received an offer and acknowledged it publicly. You had to have me pull it up in order for you to accept it. But why would I say it was so if it were not so? Can you answer that question, please?
Yes, it's very easy. Because here's the thing. You like all across the YTBC, like I give you a prime example. I'm gonna name a channel that I do not follow. A guy named Blue Blood, right? This dude sources himself for all his information.
That dude is an outright, downright liar.
Right, but listen to me. The problem is a lot of people on here, they hear people say something and they never research it. They never look it up. So therefore they repeat a lie over and over again, and that lie starts sounding like the truth. So the only thing I was telling you is I can't answer the question because I never saw it. I never read it. That's why I asked you, can you show me where it is? You did. I accepted it. But on here, there's so many people who make videos that just lie after lie after lie. Then their people spread the lies. Then other people start telling it as if it is the truth, even though it's a lie. So that's why.
I'll accept that. But please understand, the Raphael Dawkins, when I make a video, I always like to pull up at least a clip of the article that I'm referring to. When I make a live show, as with this one, if you probably didn't hear it from the beginning, but you will see that I had Eddie Hearn. I had recordings of Eddie Hearn in an interview. So over here at the RDCR, we are evidence-based. So we don't talk about things that don't exist. We only talk about things for which we have seen the evidence. We are evidence-based. So you can trust and believe, but it's okay. You make a good point. You can't believe everybody. You don't know who's believable. You can't take it for granted that somebody's saying something that is true. So I will accept that, but trust and believe that over here at the RDCR, we are evidence-based. But that was Tony's review. He came with some spirited arguments. I think there's an element of delusion there, Tony. I think there's sometimes, that you could be a little bit more straightforward. I will give you credit. You did say that Deontay Wilder initially was scared to fight Anthony Joshua, so I'll give you credit for that. But I can't give you credit for Deontay for not acknowledging Deontay Wilder's continual avoidance of Anthony Joshua. Yeah, the RDCR don't play those games. I've never heard the RDCR ever promote a story that was unchecked. That is very true as well. Appreciate you letting me on. Yes, Tony reviews. You came with the spirit. But trust and believe, the RDCR is evidence-based. And thanks for coming on. Also, the Marcus Lauer, thanks for coming on also. Very refreshing. And the Leon Figures, wow, that was spirited from beginning to end. Oh, damn. I think the Leon Figures is falling asleep. He's falling asleep at his computer. OMG. Okay. Well, that lasted a bit longer than I had expected. And then we move to the poll. The show was absolutely fire. No doubt about it. Thanks.
Very spirited.
Very spirited indeed. Let me put the poll results up so we may see them. Okay, where is it? Is that it? Okay, is this a good move on Joshua's part, or should he take 2 development fights? Yes, it's a good move, said 57%. But bear in mind, a lot of those people will be Tyson Fury fans who are hoping to see Joshua lose. So you got to disregard some of that. He should take 2 development fights, says 42%. I think primarily most of those will be Anthony Joshua supporters. Take 20% off the 57% I would recommend. And that takes us down to 37% who really believe that it's a good move. 20% of them, I think, are bullshitters. So 20% of that takes that down to 37%. Put 20% on the 42, and you got 62%. And I think that's a more honest reflection. So 37% believe that truly believe it's a good move. 20% of them are just bullshitting, I believe. Tyson Fury fans who are longing to see Anthony Joshua lose to him. Take those 20%, take 20% off that, put it on the 42%. That takes you up to 62% who genuinely believe, or 37% who genuinely believe that it's a good move. I don't know how many people genuinely believe it's a good move, but yeah, let's say 37%. Let's say 37%. This show was fire. It was. Thanks to all the participants. Tony Reviews, Marcus Lauer, Marcus Lauer, and of course the Leon Figures here with us right now.
Peace out.
Yeah, Leon Figures, your final words, thoughts, observations.
I still hope the fight is genuine. I would like to see the fight, but I do think it's strategically the wrong move for Joshua.
Yeah. Well, boom. I mean, damn. That's it, Leon. Leon, I'm going to let you go now. Thanks for jumping on. It was a hella entertaining show. It's one of them shows that I could actually listen back. Most times I don't, but this one, yeah, I think I could. That was the Leon figures. Thank you. And we'll speak again real soon. Okay. Great show. Great show. Stay blessed. Great show. Great show. Great show. Okay. I don't know what's left for me to say. I think it's strategically, it's not a good strategic move. I think there's an emotional component in Joshua accepting this fight. It's the wrong time. It's the wrong time. There's a time for everything. There's a time for everything, and this is not the time. Yeah, it's like earlier stated, when opportunity knocks. Yeah, when opportunity knocks, sometimes the engine's knocking too. Yeah, and you just bought a dud. You know what I'm saying? So opportunity at the wrong time. Is an opportunity at the wrong time a great opportunity at the wrong time a great opportunity? Or is an opportunity at the wrong time a great opportunity? I say an opportunity at the right time is a great opportunity. An opportunity at the wrong time is only an opportunity. An opportunity at the right time is a great opportunity. So there's different levels of opportunity. There's different qualities. There's different powers. Different levels. Right about now, Joshua should be rebuilding. That's what he should be doing. But it looks like he's going to be fighting Tyson Fury. Great fight, the wrong time. Does that mean that he can't win? No, it doesn't mean that he can't win. But even if he does win, he's still missing something that he needs. That's a couple of development fights. A couple of get back into the swing of winning fights. I personally think that he can beat Tyson Fury. I personally think that he can knock Tyson Fury's spark out. But regardless of that, I think it's the wrong time. It's the wrong time. It's not the right fight. It's not the right time. Even if he wins, it's still not the right fight at the right time. Sometimes you have to be circumspect. Circumspect. What does that word mean? What does circumspect mean? I need to get off here. I got work in the morning, but let's look at circumspect. Circumspect meaning. Yeah, wary and unwilling to take a risk. Sometimes you got to be circumspect. There's a time for everything. Everything has its season. It's not always risk-taking season. Sometimes you have to consolidate. Sometimes you invest. There's a time for investment. And there's a time for consolidation. It's not always the time for investment. And it's not always the time for consolidation. You have to pick. You have to decide what season it is. Is it the season to invest? Is it the season to take a high risk? Is it the season to take a low risk? Is it the season to invest? Or is it the season to consolidate? Because everything has its season. So there's no one course of action that is appropriate for all seasons. There is no one tire that is suitable for all seasons and all terrains. You adjust. And readjust. And readjust according to the season, the circumstances, the terrain. Yeah. And so I say to you, my parting words to you is everything has its season. Adjust accordingly. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares. And it is the hitting the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's Raphael Dawkins, the Combat Radio. It's the shout out to the Leon Figures, the Tony Reviews, the Marcus Lauer, Fight Doctor at a dodgy signal. But hey, as always, next time, it's Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. And we are out. Everything has its season. Blessed.